So I think the wands are missing. Sarkum's dead, and I think that's really where we left off, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think we had too much of a insight into who these people were because when we interviewed that individual, he didn't really. I think it was Polytheus or something. He didn't really have anything to say on who they were. They just kind of stopped by his house and picked them up.
You guys talked to Shensen, right? I think. Writers there as well, so she had at least seen it. I don't know if you guys got a great description. But even remembers the description.
Oh yeah, and Lee's right. The M was bad because we had that dream.
You guys had discussed last session too about some concerns about the churches, the other churches or something, I thought.
Yeah, I asked if the other churches would want the Genius Church to fail.
Are we going to
And
go back and get the mace?
Thought she was sending.
Oh yeah, she was going to
Rufus
send
gonna send-
Rufus. That's right.
yeah, she's gonna send Rufus. And remember, the flood festival's still ongoing, and there's been light rain yesterday and light rain today.
Light.
Light today.
Okay.
Just a nice drizzle.
So this is the week of the party, right? No.
Yeah, the party's in a week. Yep.
Yeah, Rufus is competent as long as he's not gardening.
Eris, do you have any ideas on possible leads we could go to?
No, I think we were gonna see. Were we gonna talk to Shinsen again?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I lost my notes on Shinsen.
Vincent was the lady that you guys had found in the basement of the Lucky Monk.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
the Ranger. Is that what they are?
The Striders, I think. The
Yep,
worship.
Striders of Frangerlon. Pretty good pronunciation. I've been practicing all week.
What day of the week is it, Greg?
It's Monday.
Monday. Okay.
So where are we going, or is it the next day yet, or?
Most of the guards hang out at the Dirty Bucket, don't they?
Yeah, it's the next day.
No, guards almost never come into the dirty bucket.
Oh, okay.
That's why I hang out there.
Yeah, guards typically go to, I believe, the Tip Tankard? Yeah, Tip Tankard is the place where they tip. Down on Ash Avenue, right off of Scroll Street there. Low Scroll Street.
I'm gonna go to the Tip Tankard and
Okay.
kind of lounge around and just kind of try and listen in, see if I hear anything.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Small talk.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So kind of sit there and sort of listen and whatnot. Do you sort of engage anybody, or just generally just taking in the discussions and the talk and things like that?
Yeah, just sitting at the bar, eating the peanuts.
Right.
Shallow discussion.
Okay.
Weather.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Complain
So
about taxes, stuff like
all
that.
right. Oh yeah, boy, taxes, that'll get you going. Boy, oh boy, you know what to complain about. That's for sure. So, you hear a whole lot about taxes. So people complaining, how they're going to make their monies, make their payments and all this other stuff. And yeah, it's pretty ugly. So, and you heard, as you're kind of sitting there, sort of listening. If you want to give perception, will be fine. If you're trying to see if any deep details.
You know what? I'm gonna do detect thoughts, but I'm not gonna probe anybody, so they wouldn't necessarily know. Just surface ideas, you know.
Oh, okay. So you're just generally trying to see what the mood is in the place. That kind of what it is, or
Yeah, I think if I like talk about something and they think about it to themselves, kind of
okay. All right, I
whatever's
gotcha.
on the surface. Well, I'll drag it in.
All right. Yeah, so as you kind of listen around and whatnot, you hear a lot of people have sort of been talking about
I'll
just
do that
general.
when somebody starts thinking or talking like something I think I'd be interested in. Sorry.
Um, okay, so as you're kind of sitting there, sort of chatting about whatnot, you do hear somebody over onto the side, sort of hear somebody talking. He's like, yeah, this festival, the Flood Festival, it's just a front, no doubt about it. And another guy's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, there's this secret army of bloodthirsty mercenaries down in the caverns below the city. It's used to fund it. Heard it's even from the cult of Hexter." Guy's like, "Ah, you're so full of it. It's to help pay the taxes, of course."
Is that Hexter? Is that orcs that they
Oh,
have down there?
oh, do you ask the guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of them looks to you and he says, "Oh, hey, Jester,
How's it
not your,
going?
it's not your day to work here. Must
Yeah,
be over at the Dirty Bucket, or
just enjoying my day off. Me and a
nice."
couple ales.
Yeah, no, Hexter's like those kids, the ones that sing a lot.
Oh, all right.
Don't know
Yeah,
'em?
The
no,
Backstreet Boys?
Yeah. Backstreet Boys. They go by Hexter now.
the Ellie Street Boys. No,
Oh, that would
you
have been
know, I
good.
think Jack used to be a dancer for him at one point, but I've never met him.
Eyes get wide for a second, and then they just sort of kind of go back to talking and whatnot. You hear, some other people sort of talking about various things with how much money they're making and how they're trying to keep it away from the tax collectors so that way nobody knows. And then you kind of clue in on a name that you'd heard. You hear somebody talk about the paladin who serves for St. Cuthbert has been out of town.
Huh, Paladin, huh? I'll listen in on that.
All right, gotcha. So here he says, I heard he was heading out to the village of Red Gorge, take care of some woman possessed by a demon, believe it or not. And the guy's like, wow, yeah, Alex could definitely do that, no doubt about it. He's a strong paladin, that's for sure. And kind of continue to talk about paladins and how good they are with the stuff. Hear another one go, hey, did you hear about the kobolds down below? Yeah, those storm blades, they cleaned them all up. There's one guy say, hey, those churches have lost the wands. Did you hear that? The wands are gone. That's what I heard. That's a rumor. The guy's like, nah, the churches never forget those wands. The guy's like, they did. I'm telling you what, there's nothing to hold back those floodwaters if this rain doesn't stop out there. The guy goes, it hasn't rained that bad in a long time.
What's that gentleman look like?
The gentleman that was making that comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he looks kind of rough. Probably works down at the docks type of thing. Maybe does a little fishing off the end of the lake, but doesn't look of any sort of high standing or anything.
I'll go over and take him a drink.
Hey,
So lost the wands, huh?
yeah, that's what I heard.
How could they do that?
I don't
They might
know.
control those forever.
Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? So I heard that. Well, I'm not going to say who, but supposedly one of the churches was in charge of it, and the rest of the churches are pretty upset. So I wonder if there's a little foul play going on. What do you think? A little rivalry?
Oh, maybe one church set up the other church?
Yeah, or maybe they
wouldn't doubt
stole
it.
them. Maybe they stole them. Or maybe the other church doesn't want to bring in the wand, so that way there's a lot of hurt and harm, and that way you got to pay the church to fix everything. They're the heroes, kind of that reverse heroes mentality.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So, which churches do you think would really want to do that? Sabotage the other church?
Probably any of them, to be honest with you. St. Cuthbert's probably sabotaging the Ouijas, and Cord's probably getting paler. I don't know. Those gods are always fighting.
Wonder where. Wonder where they take wands like that. Me and Jack will just kind of sit there throughout the day, just relaxing.
All right, sounds good. So you kind of sit there, relaxing, listening. How about the rest of y'all? I don't know if you guys are there as well, or if you're someplace else, or
I'm hanging out in across the street from the Ouijas there, preaching the virtues of Heronius and watching for any strange comings and goings.
oh, okay, gotcha. So as you're kind of standing out there, sort of preaching and whatnot, um, you see that there's people kind of coming and going, and you recognize that the Church of Ouija seems to put on sort of these sort of extravagant sort of presentations, almost like theater-like shows that occur, and you see some people. There's kind of a crowd that kind of shows up, and they do one of their services, and kind of people laughing and clapping and dancing and all kinds of stuff, and then they kind of sort of pantomime this sort of almost macabre sort of play, and everybody sort of laughs and goes back inside, and you continue to sort of preach your word on the outside there, and as you're there you hear somebody kind of walk by, and he's hi.
Hello.
I,
Want to talk
I
about Heronius?
yeah, I would. I'm interested. You don't seem to have a church here, and I've never heard of the God you're talking about.
Don't put me on the spot.
Oh, okay, all right, no worries. I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I just
Well, he's been talking to me for most of my life, and
oh, gotcha. I thought you were serious. Whoa, well,
and what do you want to know about him?
does he allow his followers to eat people?
I'm kind of giving him a strange look at that, and
He smiles, and when he
I
does,
re-
you see
I
there's like a
really,
little. Oh, go ahead.
I really don't think he's in line with that. No, I think that's not something he would approve of.
He smiles. He's got like a little piece of meat between his teeth, and he's like, oh, okay. You know which gods would like that?
Do you like that?
Oh, no. I'm just curious. Oh my gosh, I gotta go. I'll see ya. Waves continues to walk off.
And is anybody wearing red sashes going in?
Oh, that's a good question. So, you mean out in the open? Yeah, you see people, do have various sort of neck apparel and things like that. But you don't see anybody that necessarily has a red sash. If you want to do an investigation or a perception, we can see if anybody is sort of covering it as they walk around. Yeah, so as you watch, you see there's a lot of people going around. It's the festival, so there's a lot of people from out of town, and there's a lot of different dress and whatnot. But you don't see anybody that looks like wearing necessarily a red sash or anything of the sort. You do see as you're kind of sitting there, though, another sort of production sort of occurs over outside of the Ouijas, and you see some people kind of dancing around and things like that, and kind of doing another sort of a sort of a dance at this point, and people are sort of clapping and they kind of wave and whatnot, and most of them go inside, but you see one of them kind of comes down. It's a young sort of a human female that comes over, and she makes like a beeline right towards you.
I am on one of the high streets here. I know I'm going to be in trouble soon.
Yeah, right, exactly. So she kind of walks over and she says, hey, you, Shorty.
I look around. Me? Me?
Yeah,
You talking to me?
yeah, you, Shorty.
Yeah? Yeah, what?
Yeah, I just heard that you were proclaiming the heretic god of Heronius. We don't allow that on this street. You're within 500 feet of the church. You obviously don't know Cauldron Law.
Well, none of the guards have stopped me.
Well, they probably didn't recognize that you were breaking the law. I'd take offense and probably need to call them over here right now. And she's like looking around, and she's like, I think if you want to preach about Ouijas, then you can stay here, but otherwise you need to move along.
Well, I don't know nothing about Ouijas. What about them?
Oh, and she kind of comes over and big smile. She puts her arm around you and she says, well, let me tell you about Ouijas. And she slowly kind of puts her hand on your back and starts to push you towards the front of the church.
I restrain myself. I don't move forward.
Alrighty.
Backwards. I just hold my ground.
She sort of stops, and as she looks at you, she's got a big smile, almost like a too big of a smile, right? As she's kind of smiling to you, and she says, "Oh, come on! Don't you want to come inside and learn about Ouijas and how we take care of the unwanted?"
Why don't you tell me about them here, and how do you take care of them?
Well, somebody has to take care of the dead that are unclaimed. Come on, I'll show you. Come with me. Come on. And she kind of tries to push you again with her hand on your back as she's trying to lead you to the front.
I don't go.
Stops.
I'm not going in there alone.
She stops and looks at you and she says, just as I thought. Weakling. She sort of turns and starts walking back up.
Wow. Okay. Interesting. I'll stay there for a while.
Alrighty, gotcha.
See if she calls the guards. I'm not going anywhere.
Okay, sounds good. So you see she goes back up and kind of talking to some other people, and then you see she sort of guides somebody inside, and she's sort of animated with her hands as she's talking to them, as you can tell that they're trying to convert somebody to their religion. So Eris, you're with Lee. I see you sitting over there.
Yeah, what I want to try to do is try to track down I seem to remember that there were people that were recruited from some of the lower rings for the bandits that we ran into.
Uh-huh.
And well, we knew about the blonde elf with the eye and the hand, but there was also a human with red hair.
Oh.
So, Lee and I guess maybe Lee will hang out with me down here and just kind of ask around, see if anybody's heard of anybody recruiting.
Okay, gotcha. So so you guys are kind of hanging out down there, sort of listening to hear if somebody's recruiting for these groups.
Yeah, yeah.
And uh, Eris, as the old saying goes, if you got the money, honey, I got the time.
I don't go that way, but thank you.
So as you're kind of hanging out there and waiting, sort of asking around and whatnot, you see that the area is obviously much busier, right? And you see people coming and going, and got so thrown off by that. What are you doing again, Eris? I'm sorry, I got completely like sidetracked. You're looking for people that are looking or that are recruiting, is that right?
Yeah, yeah. And,
Yeah.
just asking about, if, yeah, that's basically what I'm doing because we heard that there were people that were recruited from Cauldron and,
All righty, gotcha.
yeah,
That
trying to figure out who it was that was recruiting them.
Okay, I understand. So as you kind of look about and kind of talk about things, you see that people are generally, you know, seem to sort of blow it off or don't really have any ideas of kind of your subtle questioning and whatnot. If you want to do a persuasion roll, I think if that's a way you want to kind of work the
Sure.
crowd and see what you can find out. Yeah. So as you do, you did hear that there was, in fact, this woman, a strikingly beautiful woman in her human woman in her 30s with very long red hair. But she also that was down here recruiting. Now, a couple of them that you talked to, said that they didn't really, weren't really interested because it seemed to be, leaving the city of Cauldron, and that's not really anything they were interested in. But they did give you a little bit more information about her. So they did say that she was noted to have tattoos kind of all on the right side of her face, sort of around her eye, and very distinctual tattoos, almost like lines where you wouldn't be able to miss her. And the rumor from them is that she's actually been in town living here for quite some time, as some of them had recognized her even being in town quite a bit before she had recruited this. So they expected that probably it's only been a couple years that maybe she's been doing what she's been doing. So and one of them even reported that he had read something in the in the newspaper about her, and but he couldn't remember the Cauldron Stew, but he couldn't really remember what the story was, but there was something about her and in the newspaper a couple years ago and whatnot. But as you kind of ask around and whatnot, you can't really get any more information than that.
Okay.
Now, if you wanted to, you could try bribing some people. See if they will
Well,
maybe loosen their tongue.
I would most likely charm them
Oh yeah, you could do that too if you want.
and then see if I could get more
All
information
right,
out of
that
them.
sounds good. You can do that too. There is one, a Janir Everdawn, that is there that is sort of kind of seemed to have some information or had at least met somebody before, or had met them before they had been approached, and but what I
Yeah, if
remember.
we can get this person off to the side, I will
Sure.
definitely try to cast Charm Person and
Okay. Yeah.
try to get some
So
more information from them.
yeah, I mean, Janir seems to be fairly forthcoming. However, seems to be giving you that look like, hey, if you grease my palms a little bit, then I'll maybe give you a little bit more information, type of thing. Kind of.
Yeah, so I'll buy him a beer and then cast Charm Person on him.
All right, sounds good. So he needs what is it, a
Wisdom DC 14.
thank you, I appreciate it. Oh, okay, good. It's at disadvantage. Wisdom, you said 14?
Yep.
All right. So what do you want to know?
So, buddy, tell me a little bit more about this woman. Do you know her name?
Oh
And where
yeah,
I might run into her?
I do. Yeah, it's Triel.
Trio.
Yep. Yeah. Boy, oh boy, she was an up and comer, and then Didn't go so well for her.
What's that mean?
Well, she once was a guard here in town.
No way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's bad news, though. Bad news.
What happened?
Bunch of her guards, friends, guards on duty, murdered them. Right there at the tower. Crazy. Captain was first, and then got the sergeant. Supposedly she's been moving around here, but I heard she succumbed and died. But I don't know. It's interesting nonetheless. But the girl you described, that's exactly who it sounds like.
So she wasn't, they didn't throw her in jail for this?
Escaped. They put out big hunting parties and they scoured the countryside looking for her and went through the jungle and you guards even got eaten, but they never found her. I heard she was back. That's who I heard was around town here, slipping in and out along Ash Avenue, secret like.
Yeah, and she's been recruiting people down here?
Oh yeah, yep, she has. So these people that go out in the country to make money, right? To get all the loot to stuff. So times are hard in town here. Those taxes keep adding up and adding up. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, well, you stay away from her. She sounds like bad news.
Oh yeah, she does. But man, I heard she is beauty. Oof.
Even with all the tattoos?
Oh yeah. And he's like, yeah, I even heard that she likes to wear like a suit of full spiked full plate too. I heard that's what the rumor is, anyways. And then she has some symbol on the front of it. I don't know what it is, but
When's the last time you saw her? I'd really like to have a chat with her.
well, she's supposedly dead, right? But I could have swore I saw her walking around here a couple weeks ago, just before the festival. Matter of fact, I think she was in here when Aquanaut was playing here. What's that guy's name?
Nar? Jester?
Oh yeah, Nar Jester. That guy. I heard she was in here. It was a busy night one night, and I think there was like the group. They're friends or something. They were all partying, and heard they were close. So maybe when I ask them.
Yeah, I'll ask them.
Yeah, they probably know.
All right, buddy. Well, you stay out of trouble.
Uh-huh.
Don't drink too much.
Okay, alrighty. If you want, I can take your name and where you live, and if I see her, I'll let you know.
Uh,
I can be trusted.
I'm sure you can.
I mean, I really like you, and you're really friendly, and just that way we can be friends too,
We can be
right?
friends. If you see her, just tell her there was somebody looking for a job, and we can meet down here at the Dirty Bucket.
All right. Okay. That sounds good. I'll let her know.
Okay. And I'll toss him a couple of silvers.
See his eyes light up. He says, "Wow, if you need information again, just come on down and see me, okay?"
Yep, we will.
All right. Great. Lee, you're down there with her, I take it?
Yep, I'm just enjoying the free drinks without
Alrighty.
the spell being cast on me.
Right, exactly. All right, it sounds good. So Jester and Jack, you guys are still over there at the Tip Tankard, I think, right?
Yep. Yeah, we're hanging out over there.
Yeah, so you heard, some people were talking about some like giant snakes that were sighted near the village of Houski, and they were talking about the Antia Shatterhorner maybe back, and you had heard somebody's been riling up the wild animals outside, and a lot of the baboons have become especially hostile down in the along the trail, and just general sort of discussion about stuff and whatnot. Oh, you heard about Hookface the dragon supposedly was flying over the hills to the north, and just these kind of general random ruins, but nothing that's necessarily specific. What you're really probably looking for.
Maybe the guy with the baboon who was talking about the baboon stuff. Maybe I'll
Yeah.
wander over and
Okay, gotcha.
kind of joke around with him.
Yeah, he kind of says, yeah. He's like, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good. You know what? What type of cloud is so lazy because it'll never get up? I'm kind of like this cloud today.
I don't know.
Fog. Get it? Yeah. It's early. I've had a few beers. So, on this baboon thing, I heard you talking about it. And what have you heard? Because I've heard some weird stories about people training these baboons.
Yeah, me too. I heard that the baboons, they when the sun comes out, they turn into humans, and then they walk around the jungles, and then when it becomes nighttime, they become baboons again. Have you heard that?
Check, please. No, I hadn't heard that. That sounds like a were baboon or something, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I'd heard that, and then I also heard that that they used to live in the trees now, but they're actually taking over houses and they're living in people's houses out there. A lot of the people have that live out there, the humans and stuff. They've been being killed and stuff, and they don't like dwarves. I heard that too.
Oh, they don't like dwarves, huh?
Oh, they do not like dwarves. Yeah, they have a thing for them. I think it's because they're
Oh.
close in size.
Do you know what general area these baboons have been acting up?
All along the road to Sasserine, I had heard.
Oh, yeah. I had heard the same thing.
Did you? Yeah. Yeah, I even heard that the monkey got hit.
Oh, the monkey?
Yeah.
I've done a few acts up there.
Oh yeah, that's terrible, isn't it? But hey,
Yeah.
did you hear about the tentacled beast that lives in the depths of the lake?
No, I hadn't heard about that.
Oh,
Jack
yeah.
spent some time at the bottom of the lake the other day.
He looks at Jack. He's like, "You're lucky you're still alive, my friend. There's a large tentacled beast that lives down there. Morkoth comes up all the time. You should go to the Morkoth Inn. They got great pictures on the wall there of it.
Morkoth?
Yeah,
You said his
Morkoth.
name?
Yeah. Man, you must be new in town.
Yeah, I'm newer. I mostly been working the bars. I work late.
Ah, gotcha.
I don't get out much. So the Morkoth Inn has pictures of this Morkoth?
Yeah, supposedly that's what I've heard, anyways.
Oh, what's the stories on this? Is
s-
anybody is there like old cauldron wives' tales on it or something? Or
Yeah. You don't swim, man. That thing. You go out there. You try to get out in that lake, in the middle of the lake, down. It's all over, man. Play this
Oh,
music.
really?
It's like two tones. It's really weird.
Yeah. What's the difference between a horse and the weather? This one just came to me.
A horse is a horse, and the weather's weather.
One's rained up and the other rains down. Kind of goes with our weather today, doesn't it?
Your jokes aren't very funny.
Yeah. I'm having a rough day, ain't I? So, all right. Well,
I
thanks.
liked it.
The guy's still kind of looking at you like, huh?
I whisper in Jack's ear, gnome.
Nice. That's
As
awesome.
we're walking away.
All right.
Somebody laughs. I'm gonna go try and find the rest of the party about this more.
Okay. Gotcha. So you're going to start working your way around the circle. All right. Gassy, you're still outside there. You don't see
Nothing
any
new happening.
you don't see any guards or anything like that that come, and suddenly
And whatever ones do, they don't
Yeah.
say anything to me.
nah, you keep doing what you're doing and whatnot, and you see that they continue to have sort of these street performances and even some juggling acts and things like that, and but nothing
and none
else.
of them are looking at me askance.
Well, they all are, to be honest with you. Every time they come out and whatnot, and you can see the young lady who had come over to talk to you. She
I
sort of
wave every time she looks.
yeah, she waves too with a one finger, and but she doesn't come back over to harass you or anything like that anymore. You do. If you wanna, can you? You have a religion? Yeah. Why don't you roll a religion for me, if you don't mind? Oh, yeah. So unfortunately, you
You can always tell when the roll is bad.
yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, you are not able to get any real interest in what you are preaching. I guess the word of erroneous is just not as popular in the city as Cauldron as you have seen in other towns. So,
It's probably just the wrong spot.
yeah, that's exact.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
I think you're
I
right
just
too.
picked a bad spot.
Yeah, yeah. You probably want like the west side where there's no churches. You know, you can start your own little following over there,
These
or
these
the
are
east
more
side,
the
west side.
human eating type people over here.
Right, right, right. Yeah, Lee. Right. Yeah. Stop trying to recruit in Dwarven.
I'm
Kind of
gonna
hang out.
make my way down to the dirty bucket.
Alrighty, gotcha. So you guys, over a period of time, you all sort of kind of come into the dirty bucket, sort of as each of you kind of walking in independently, spaced out, and eventually you're all inside.
Thanks, Lee. I'll give that a try next time.
So you've been outside in the rain this whole time, the whole day?
You see,
And you know, remarkably, I'm perfectly dry. How do you explain that? Yes, I'm soaked. My beard's dripping, and I sit down and I want a hot toddy.
yep, they pass over a warm drink, some spiked ale or spiked cider to you, and
So did you guys learn anything today?
The
Uh,
Ouijas people tried to convert me.
Did it work?
No, I wasn't willing to go inside their church. They all seemed to eat humans.
What?
Yeah, humans. They weren't that interested in me really. Said something about the eating or disposing or looking after the unwanted. I'm not sure which they meant by looking after. I thought disposing of, but
I learned about Morkoth. I guess it's a story about a tentacled beast down in the middle of the Cauldron Lake. Kind of the M part of it spiked my interest. I guess the Morkoth Inn, you can learn more about it. And they got pictures and stuff. I just haven't made it over there yet.
Well, our dream, didn't it have the big M right in the middle of the lake?
Yeah, that was the part that spiked my interest when I heard the name.
Hmm.
Greg, out of curiosity, where is the Morkoth Inn?
Bailey's already looking at it. Sorry, Eris is already looking at it.
That says Gartham Imports.
A little bit farther. Yep.
Yeah, it's a little bit farther. I'll let go of the thing a
Pointer.
little early.
the drunken Morkoth.
Now, Greg, I have to ask, did you just add that recently? Because I'm pretty sure that wasn't on our map previously.
The entire time.
Yep.
Hey Lee, what one hurricane say to the other hurricane? I got my eye on you. See, one-eyed joke.
You know, that's probably better than the answer I was going to give you.
Have you ever played at the drunken Morkoth, Nar?
No, but you know this may be a good time.
Yeah, maybe you could go over there and maybe we can get some information under the guise of you playing. Well,
Yeah,
you'd play there anyway. It's always about getting you another gig, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. See what kind of specials we can get on this. I've been running, Jack counts everybody that comes in, and we've been doing this new thing called analytics, and I can tell, percentages of increased sales, and we've written it all down on a sheet, and I'm gonna use that to try and get maybe Wednesday night over there. Right, Jack?
Well, the only thing I learned was about the redheaded lady that the bandit told us about. The one who's been recruiting some of the people down here in the lower rings. She apparently used to be a guard here in the city, so she's supposed to be kind of bad news. I don't know if we need to follow up on her, but at least we've kind of got a lead if we need to.
So the party is when? Friday? Today's Monday or what?
The party is on Sunday.
Look at you, Lee. You ready to get all dressed up and go over?
Oh, sure, sure. Yep. Got my costume all ready to go. So where do we want to go? We could go up and talk to that guard captain about the redhead, or we can go over to the Morkoth Inn and talk to them about the Morkoth.
Doesn't matter to me. I did hear one other thing, kind of in line with the Ouija stuff, where people are starting to talk about the wands going missing. How one church is probably trying to sabotage the other church.
They think it might be the Ouijas.
They didn't really know, but when they were talking about different church versus different church, I think that did come up. Is that kind of similar to what you would think, Gassy, as far as a church that would come after St. Cuthbert?
Well, they are definitely aligned differently, and they have, you know, counterbalancing beliefs. So yeah, I think that might be an obvious choice. But I'm wondering about these stormtroopers. That other silly group.
Oh,
Stormblades?
Stormblade?
Yeah, those ones. Yeah, they might be involved.
Why would they take the wands?
Maybe so they could pop up at the last minute and say, hey, look, we're the heroes that found them. They seem to be taking credit for all of our work.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wait, if that's the case, then that means we have to go find the wands so that they can take credit for them.
Well, I'm sure it'd get out that we're looking for the wands.
Is anybody listening to our conversation?
Question. Perception check for me, Gassy, if you don't mind. So, Cassie, as you look around, you see that it's pretty busy, right? Because it is the festival, and there's lots of people in there that you don't typically see. You do see the regulars that are there too, though, because you all have been coming here for quite some time. nobody necessarily seems to be paying too much attention to you at all. And if you remember correctly, there was a couple half orcs that were here. They're kind of always sort of scowling at you guys because of the jokes that had occurred before. But otherwise, nobody's really like peering into you or listening, or when you look at them, they look the other way. That you can recognize, anyways.
Any red sashes?
Ah, good question. There is not any red sashes in here.
Okay.
Except for Nar's shirt.
Yeah, that's just way too flamboyant.
Yeah, it's bright.
This is a sheer crimson.
But it's sheer now.
Yeah. Better than it looks.
That's expensive.
Sheer or just worn out. It's hard to tell.
It's my what do I get? I get some sort of like fancy outfit with my background. All right, well, maybe try more calls first. That may be easier. We can just get in there and get a date set up for me to entertain.
All right, then let's go.
Okay. Yeah, I can start walking out, and then I realize I don't know where it's at.
I know where it's at.
Just like always, we're following Eris around.
Eris grew up here, so she should know the town very, very well, actually.
I know it pretty well.
So, Eris, as you guide them over that way, everybody's going, I take it?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Okay. So as you continue through the town, again, you all see kind of the vendors and whatnot, and you do see that the people are selling these funny things on sticks that have like tarps that keep you dry, gassy as you're walking by, and you guys generally make your way over there. As you walk in, you see that you walk into the place called the Drunken Moorcloth, kind of a really nice place. It's busy, right? There are a lot of people kind of coming in and out and whatnot. And you see it's a fairly large building and inn. And as you walk in, you see that the tap room is pretty full, to be honest, and on the walls you see these paintings that are there, and they've got like these pictures of this lake monster, and they're sort of in weird positions, and one of them's got like a dwarf riding the back of it, and you got one of them where it's somebody's like spinning it around by hanging on to by one of the tentacles, and just sort of weird sort of pictures and stuff, and this beast looks kind of like he's drunk and stuff, so as you walk in, it's loud. There's a lot going on there, and you see there's a dwarf kind of behind the bar, and then there's a sort of a human male. He's only about 4'6". Has a very short stature that's there. He's got a dark gray beard. It's sort of short, and he's kind of chatting it up, and you see the female dwarf is sort of passing out drinks and whatnot, and as they're there.
Is that you on the wall up there spinning that or riding that monster?
Oh, do you ask the dwarf?
Yeah. Is that your daily commuter?
She looks at you, and she's got sort of tan skin and a long gray beard as well, and she goes, "Are you here to buy a drink, or are you here to insult me?"
No, I wasn't insulting you. I was just joking around. Yeah, I'll buy an ale.
She's like, "Rivik, I need an ale." He's over there talking. He's like, "You get it." She's like, "No, I got the last ale." He's like, "Come on, man. I'm chatting with this guy." She's like, "You don't do anything around this bar." And you see her kind of walk over there. She's like, "I don't know why I married you." And he's like, "We're not married." She starts pouring a drink.
Before she starts to walk off,
Yeah,
I'm going to say, "Hey, Nar, appreciate you buying the drinks. Thanks, buddy."
I was just getting one.
She turns around. She says, "Oh, 5 all around. Okay." And she kind of walks with a little faster step.
Do I see Shinsen anywhere?
She is sitting over by one of the windows there. That's close to the street. You see, she's kind of got her boots up on the other seat. It's just got two chairs there. It's a small little round table. She's sort of leaning back and just kind of watching people sort of walk along the street itself. And you see that she's kind of got a view over to like High Squirrel Street, watching people sort of meander down. And she's just kind of sitting there milking a drink that's there and all by herself.
I'm gonna look at Lee and be like, how could somebody stoop so low to get those drinks?
She comes over and oh, go ahead. Sorry, Lee.
No, I was gonna say, I'm just looking around and look over at him like, huh, what? And then go back to looking around.
It was a joke. She's back. I'll tell you later.
Goes back and she slaps down 4 mugs. She goes, more costs mead all around, 4 copper a mug. That'll be 20 copper?
Holy cow!
2
How about
silver.
Two silver.
Sure, I'll take 2 silver.
Here you go. Here's 3 silver and a tip to the lovely lady.
Goes, you tried to get sweet on me? I'm already taken by that guy over there. She's like, Rivik, this guy's trying to hit on me. Like, nobody'd hit on you. Your beard's too long.
I like it.
Sorry, Riddick. I was just talking to your wife.
Well, she's not my wife. And she hears you say that, gassy, and she's like, what are you looking at?
Your chin hair, it's quite nice.
Go find somebody else to schmooze. And she starts walking away.
Yeah, she's.
I wave at her like the
married
girl
to
waved at
Riddick,
me.
Gassy.
All right, sounds good. You flip her off as she walks by. Rivik goes, you see Rivik down at the end of the bar. He's looking at you and he's like nodding and he goes, gives you the thumbs up. She's like, what are you thumbs upping? He's like, nothing.
I say we recruit her.
I don't know.
She would fit in.
Seems feisty. Maybe should have talked to Riddick. Does the monster look the same in all the pictures?
For the most part, it does. And you see as you're sitting there, there's one behind the bar that's there. It's like a really big sort of portrait or image that's there. And as you watch it, you could swear that it's moving. Like the image is moving.
Would that be like a history or something to see if we know it? What it is?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So unfortunately, Jester, you have not really heard a lot about this while you've been in town. Matter of fact, this is the first time you've even heard of the name, and you're shocked. Like you figured that you would have heard about this being in town for the last several months, sort of entertaining and whatnot. But you didn't even know this inn really existed. You don't get up to the upper ring much.
What about the monster type? Can I tell what type of?
Oh, gotcha.
That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, no, you have no idea. You've not seen or heard of anything like this. But again, even though you're the Aquanauts, I'm not sure you've had a lot of aquatic exposure. So Eris, you were walking over towards Shensen, is that right?
Yeah, I'll just invite her over to our
Oh, okay, gotcha. So you kind of walk over and she sees you and she immediately sort of pulls her feet off the chair and she goes, huh, hey.
How are things today?
It's raining. And she looks out the window and she says, no drink for you today?
Oh, we're drinking over at our table over there.
Oh. No offense, but I don't really like a lot of your group.
Why?
I don't know. They just seem, I don't know. Anyways, she takes her feet down and she says, you can have a seat. She waves to the bar, one of the bar mans that's there, and he kind of comes walking over and she's like, you want a drink?
Yes.
And she says, "You want wine or beer?"
Wine will be fine.
Sure. She says, "Can I have a yeah? Can you just bring over the Sheldamar red?" And he's like, "Sure." And she flips him 5 gold pieces. Kind of runs off quickly.
Is she acting a little weird compared to when we were with her for the last day?
All right, gotcha. Insight check. Yeah, she's drunk.
Okay.
All right. I mean, it looks like she's probably been drinking pretty much all night and most of the morning. So, and a few minutes later, the bottle comes over, and they have a couple glasses that he sets down, wine glasses. She finishes what's in her mug, and she pops the cork on the glass and pours you some wine, and leaves that wine glass that's there, just pours it in the mug, and she just starts chugging down the wine. She goes, "Ah, I love the Sheldamar. It's so good, especially this time of year."
It's a bit early in the day to be drinking this hard, don't you?
Ah, I just barely survived. I was trapped in a basement of a building with creatures trying to get in. She's like, "It's never too early to drink. Cheers." She puts up the symbol, or puts up the mug to your glass.
Did you find your friend Merthin? Mirthin?
Yeah, yeah, he was here. He wasn't very happy about hearing about the lucky monkey, so he's wanting to get more striders to head out there and see if he can clean it up a little bit more. She kind of looks down. Sure, I'm going to lose that gig.
Are you gonna stay in town then?
Oh, not sure. Takes another long draw off her mug, and then she pours more wine into the mug. Maybe I'll just sit here and look out the window all day, watch people walk by. What do you think?
That would be great. If you happen to see a red-headed lady, really attractive with tattoos, yeah, let me know.
Hey, I'm glad you brought that up.
Why is that?
Well, I I don't know, this drinking thing really sort of clears your mind. You know?
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. So I I don't know if I told you, but she was wearing the symbol of Hexter on her chest. Did I tell you that? On her armor?
You did not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she had this symbol that was on her armor, and she's tattooed too. Did I tell you that?
I heard that she had tattoos, but you didn't say what kind.
Like they're not like a specific pattern that I know of, but they're all kind of on the right forehead and the right cheek and on the right side of her neck. And yeah, it's and I don't know. Anyways, I couldn't remember if I told you or not, and I was trying to replay what happened. Oh, just kind of stares off into the mug as she's sort of sitting there, face is pained, looking for a few minutes. Takes another drink.
Well, I don't want to disturb you and your drinking.
Oh, you're not disturbing me. You're fine. Stay, please. Lonely sitting over here.
I get that, but I need to get back to my group. We're doing some investigations around here.
Tell him what I said, okay? I mean, I don't want to be rude, and we may, work together again sometime or something, and I don't want him to, you know what I mean, right?
Right, they're a little hard to rough around the edges, but they're good people.
I'll have to remember that. kind of says, "You could take the bottle if no, I'll keep the bottle. You want me to
Yeah,
fill it
you
up?
keep the bottle.
You
No,
want me to
you're
fill that
good.
up for you?"
I'm good. You're,
All right. Kind of
I'll
puts her.
just go back over.
All right. She puts her feet back up on the chair that's there. Continues to look out the window. All of a sudden, you hear the chair gets pushed off, and she stands up and she starts following. She goes, "Lady, I forgot. Rias," and she's sort of walking towards you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. You may want to try to talk to the dead head. That may give you some information. You use some magic-y stuff. Everybody sort of looks at you as you two are talking. There's people like sitting at tables sort of looking up as she's yelling this across the room.
I'll walk back over to her.
All right. She's like, "Yeah, did you ever think of that? I was thinking about that. I was thinking we could do like a thing with candles and we'll all sit in a circle and we'll try to figure it out." Right?
Talk to the head?
Yeah. It's got to know what happened. It was there when it got cut off. Everybody's really kind of
Oh.
looking at you all now.
You mean like cast a spell to talk with the head?
Yeah. I know there's this witch that maybe we can go see and she'll do some like stuff to it.
Yeah, that's kind of frowned upon doing stuff to dead heads in the city, unfortunately.
Well, okay, all right. Maybe that's not the best idea.
But we do know maybe we'll get the see if Jinya, the priestess over at the church, maybe she might know how to do that.
Maybe. Or you could talk to Ike. Ike probably knows. Iverson, I think his name is. He probably does that kind of stuff.
Ike Iverson? I don't
Yeah.
think I've heard of him.
Oh, yeah, he works over at one of those churches, the ones that do all the dead people stuff. He probably does it.
Oh, the Weehas?
Yeah, the Weewa.
I think you might have had a bit too much.
Maybe. That's all I got. She kind of goes back over to the chair and sits down and she says, "But if you need help, with the seance or anything, you let me know." Deadheads.
Yes, indeed.
The rest of the group, you guys still at the bar? Did you grab a table?
Probably still at the bar.
All right, I gotcha. As you guys are there, kind of sitting there, kind of drinking and whatnot. Lee, you see this this female half elf kind of starts sort of walking towards the bar. She's got long blonde hair and it's sort of in a double French braid, and she's got a very burgundy sort of silk shirt and some gray pants and leather boots. And you immediately recognize she's wearing a symbol of a merchant's guild from Sasserine, and she's kind of walking over to the bar here and as she kind of makes her way through the people, you can see, kind of beelining to be just pretty close to where you guys are. It's probably the only spot that's left.
Do I recognize her? Not that I necessarily would, but
Yeah, I think you recognize the symbol on the shirt, and you recognize it's definitely a merchant from Sasserine. And you see that she's deals probably with the guild house that you see. She deals with stonework, and you know that you've had some dealings with stonework merchants in the past. Kind of comes up to the bar and she's like, "Is there any way I can get a drink here?" Looks over to your group. "How did you guys get your drinks?"
he bought them.
Insult the dwarf.
Salt?
Not me.
She just starts to say something to Cassie and stops as you say that, Cassie. She goes,
not that one. Yell for Riddick's wife, and then she'll come get you a drink.
she looks at you as if this is like a joke or some sort of like a thing where you're trying to trick her and whatnot. She's like, "I'll just wait till somebody walks back." She sort
Hey,
of turns.
Riddick, can you send your wife over? We need a drink.
He's talking, and he looks, and he goes, "Oh," he's like, "Naz, come on, go down there, get a drink for those guys." She goes, "You go get it." She's like, "I'm busy." He shrugs his shoulders, and he says, "She'll be down in a minute," and he starts chuckling.
Thanks.
He goes walking by, and she kind of punches him in the shoulder, which sort of throws him into the bar, and he sort of sheepishly kind of comes over, and he's like, hi, everybody. Riddick Mole, nice to meet y'all. That's my wife, Naz."
Hey,
Like, "I'm
Riddick.
not your wife." Like, we've been together a long time.
Yeah, my friend here wanted to buy all of us, including this person here, a drink.
She says,
Huh?
"I do not."
No. I point at Nar when I say that.
I
Oh.
move out of the way and Gassie's behind me.
All right. And he looks, he
No, I'm
says,
not. I'm beside you.
a
Oh,
fellow
I-
dwarf. A fellow dwarf. Well, let's see. If you're buying, we're going to give you guys the Thunder Brew Ale, the best stuff in the house. And he counts, he's like, 6. All right. And the half elf's like, I was looking. And he starts walking away. She's like, "I really wanted some wine."
Cassie, appreciate that, buddy. That's awful nice of you for a priest.
Yeah, thanks. Thunder Brew Ale. Good stuff.
I'm
co-
not paying. I tell that to her right off the bat. I'm not buying everybody a drink. I can't afford that.
Like, well,
Oh,
I'm not
come
going
on,
to afford
Gassie.
it.
It's the Thunder Ale. We got to try that.
All right.
Hey, what's a
Buy
cloud
one
wear
round.
under its raincoat?
Sort of.
Thunderwear.
Clouds don't wear raincoats.
They wear thunderwear. Yeah, we'll take those Thunder Ales.
Yeah. So she waits until the thunder ale is delivered, which you see that the mug has like thunderstorm clouds all around it and whatnot, and it's got like this funky little sort of lid on it, sort of as like a souvenirish type of thing. But you can't keep the mug, of course. And she takes the mug and she says, "Thank you, kind sirs," and she immediately goes the other way.
She didn't want to get paid this time.
What's that? No, that was the half elf merchant. No, no,
Oh.
he's waiting for the coin. He's like, "That's that'll be 5 copper a mug. That's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know if Eris is back yet, but that's 5, so that's 25 copper.
I give him 2 silver.
All right. He's like, "Wait a minute."
I'm just subtracting the tip that we gave your wife.
Am I gonna have to kick you out of my own bar? I like dwarfs. Not many people in this town do. You could see my wife. She like, "I'm not your wife."
Okay, I'll give him another silver.
Thank you, and move along. By this time, I think Eris would be back.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, he
So-
slapped Gassy.
We find out anything over here?
So, Naz really is Riddick's wife. I was confused at first, but I'm really glad I got to the bottom of that.
Here in the distance, "I'm not his wife." Quite a
But
ways
yeah,
away.
other than that's about it.
Kind of comes
Well-
back over. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, she comes back over and she looks and she says, "I'm not his wife." And she looks at you, Eris. She says, "Oh, hey, hi. Are you looking for a drink? Oh, you have a glass of wine. If you
do.
need anything, you let me know. And you know, we've got a special on some food in the back. If you're interested, we've got a nice little hearty stew that's back there. For you, it's normally 2 silver. I'll give it to you for a silver if you're interested."
I
I'll
look
take
down at
it.
myself like, is there anything that I would be getting a different
No, I don't think so. It's just it's clearly different. And did you say something, Gassy?
Y'all have some.
Goes, "I wasn't talking to you, all right?" And then she looks back to Eris. She says, "It's so rude of him. What would you like? Would you like some stew?"
I would. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
So Eris is sitting there with a glass of wine, and 2
Yep.
glasses of ale in front of her.
She is. Right. And now she's getting stew, right? And she says, listen, if you need anything, if these boys over here are bothering you, you just let me know and I'll send my husband. She points over to the short human that's over there and with the stubbly beard, and I'll have him kick their butts out of here. You understand? We
I
don't put up with
understand.
those kind. And especially that one. And she points to Gassy. She's like, that one could be kicked out any time. Making fun of my beard.
I wasn't
Eris,
making fun of it. I like it.
Eris,
That's
it's mighty nice of you to buy us some stew. Appreciate that very much. I'll pick up the next one.
Lee, are you out of money again?
How could he possibly be out of money?
I'm just going to sit here and drink my drink.
She looks to you and she says, listen, do you know these people then, huh? Do you want to buy them lunch? I wasn't going to offer it to them, but since you're here, I'm more than happy. I don't want to be rude to you, so if these are your friends, I'll be happy to offer them lunch too, if you'd
They're,
like.
they are my friends. And yes, I would very much like to feed all of them, I guess.
When you live 240 years like I have, you would understand that these aren't really good friends, but you're young, you're new, I get it. You'll figure it out, honey, I promise. But she says, all right, I'll get them all soup. I'll be back. She kind of glares at Gassy. Don't say a word. And she keeps walking.
So I see
Hey.
you've been making friends over here?
I'm not saying anything.
You know what you got in common with her, Gassy? Very little.
See,
That's a good one. That's
Rick.
actually a good one.
Rivet comes running over and he's like, she's really nice. I promise. She's just a little grumpy sometimes. It's okay. And he kind of smiles. He says, you're doing good. She really kind of growing on you there. And he points to Gassy. Goes running down to the other end of the bar.
She's not my wife.
Yeah, right. Exactly. A few minutes later, the soup comes out, and she brings it to Eris. Eris, you got like a really nice bowl. It's a little bit bigger than the rest of them, and she has like silverware and stuff for you. For the rest of the guys, she just sort of slops on the table. Half of it sort of sloshes onto there, and she's like, "You'll just have to pick up the bowl. I'm out of silverware."
How much do I owe you?
Oh, she says, "Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 of you. So 5 silver, I think will be fine."
Okay, I'll give her 6.
She's like, I like you, and she says, if you need anything, you just ask. My name's Naz. I'll be right over and I'll help you out. And if these boys give you any problems, you tell me, and I'm gonna kick them out of here so fast.
I growl at her.
She stares at you, and she takes her 2 fingers, her index and her middle finger, and she points at her eyes and points at you and goes back and forth as she walks down the bar to the other end.
She did that to Gassy or to me?
To Gassy, because he growled, "Were you the one slurping?" Who's the one that was slurping their soup?
Lee was slurping.
That's what I thought it was, yeah. And she's like, Riddick, we got a slurper. And Riddick goes, hey, good job. She's like, we hate slurping.
I slurp.
I do it again. I have no silverware, unless I take somebody's spoon.
Just don't want him to choke on a piece of meat or anything.
Right, yeah, you got to be careful there. So it's actually very tasty, to be honest with you.
Best dog I've ever had.
Guys, let's not get kicked out of here before we learn something.
Plus, you're ruining Nar's potential for the Aquanauts here, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think she likes me.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna perform here. I think we might. I mean, really, we were just coming here to learn about Morkoth. Does anybody recognize this thing up here?
As you guys look up there, you see the picture has now changed. Where before he was Morkoth was sort of there, kind of swinging by somebody swinging by the tentacle, and now you see he's there and he's got his arm, like his tentacle, around this large human, and there's a big smile across this creature's face, like they're posing for a picture.
Is it magical?
It is magical.
Yeah. Yeah, that's enchanted.
Oh.
What the heck is a Morkoth?
It's a tentacle creature that lives in the middle of the lake.
I buy that.
Yeah, and just think, Gassy, you were out there floating around.
Hey, Jack was walking on the bottom.
So Shinshin over there, Shinsen,
Yep.
she had a really good idea about maybe casting Speak with Dead on the body of Sarkum.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, that's good.
I look at her. Do you have that spell?
I don't. I don't know that type of magic. But maybe Jenya could? Or do you know it?
Not at this moment. Let me converse with my god tonight.
Only problem is he kind of lost his head the last time he was talking. Since the last time he was talking.
So yeah, go ahead.
Well, and um, drunk lady over there also said that this Triel, the redheaded lady, had the Hextor symbol on her armor. So the Hextor symbol was like part of that symbol on the back of Sarkum's head. Is it Sacrum or Sarkum?
I think it's sacrum. I've been
Sacrum.
saying
Okay.
sarcum, yeah, but it's SACREM. Yep. See, Riddick comes over and he's like, "So, you all new in town? What's going on?" And you hear yell, "Don't talk to them!" Except for the nice lady. She's nice. The rest of them are jerks. He's like, "Stop talking about our customers that way."
Well, she's not wrong though.
Oh, you see his eyes get big. Oh, well, I guess you speak candidly, don't you?
It's the only way I know how.
Then he kind of looks over and goes, "Whoa, metal dude, man. Easy on the soup, man." You look over and his bowl is completely empty. He's like, "Dang, dude, you want another bowl?"
Me good.
Wow. Man, oh man. You put that thing away.
Cassie, I mean, Jack doesn't eat, does he?
Wow.
I've never seen him eat. It must have been Lee.
Look at that bowl. I mean, it's empty.
I'm just sitting here eating, slurping.
Like so. And Riddick kind of leans over and he puts his elbow on the table and looks over to Lee and he says, "So I hear you're the leader of the Aquanauts and you've been doing some music and acts down in the lower level. Matter of fact, I even heard you got like a good lute player. I was wondering if you guys were looking for a little bit of business up here."
Oh, that would be me. Nar and the Aquanauts. Yeah, I think we're pretty booked up, but I could do a cancellation on Wednesday and then come in here.
Wednesday? Uh, Wednesday's not a good day.
Oh no. What's
Well,
what's
we're,
what's your
we're
best day?
Well, see, the problem is Wednesday we got special guests. We got the Stormblades coming in, and they're going to be giving stories about how they cleared out the kobolds. And then there's this story that they cleaned up these carrion crawlers after this amateur group went down into the lower levels. It was like they almost were gonna, the place was gonna be invaded by them. But these guys saved the day, so I was really lucky to book them. They're really hard to get. But if you want to maybe come in on a Thursday's a pretty good day.
I do 2-for-1 Thursdays.
I'm gonna be there Wednesday.
What about
Oh,
Tuesday?
coming here Wednesday? Okay, gotcha. Tuesday? Oh, well, Tuesday's not a very busy day, and if I'm gonna pay to have you here, I gotta have the business, you know.
Yeah, well, maybe I can bring people in, on Tuesdays. If it's not a
Uh,
busy day, you know what? I'll do one Tuesday for free. Tomorrow's Tuesday. I can come in and.
Well, yeah, maybe we can do it. And you hear Naz go, "Stop talking to them. You're supposed to be working." Like, I am working. She's like, "You better not be offering them a job." He's like, "Don't listen to her. It's fine."
What about
Two.
Friday? We could do a Fish Friday
Oh,
special.
Fridays aren't a good day for me, man.
Hmm.
So the reason is there's these like 6 people that come in here and they like play this game. It's really cool. I can't do Fridays, man.
Ah, darn
Yeah,
it.
they all wear. They all have like cloaks over their heads though, because I don't know what any of them look like, but I know their voices.
Maybe. All right. Yeah, I'll do Tuesday. Let me see if I can drum up some business for you. I'll
Okay.
do the first one for free.
Oh, great! I'd love to have you. So that's tomorrow then, huh? All right. We'll see you tomorrow night.
I just get to keep my tips.
Okay. Yeah. You keep the tips, and I'll be interested to see what the business is. And do me a favor, don't tell Naz. Okay? She's like, "Tell me what."
I look at him as if she didn't hear.
Like, oh, she didn't hear. She has terrible hearing.
Anyways, Eris, it will be some time before I can learn that spell. It's a bit above me right now.
Oh, well, maybe Jenya can cast it?
Perhaps
I don't have
we can
any
ask.
experience with, you know, how experienced you have to be to cast something like that, but she seems like she's, well learned.
Hmm.
So what's the plan now?
Are we digging up Sakram's body?
I don't think they've put him in the ground
Oh
yet.
no, we buried the other two, didn't we? Yeah, that's right.
It just was, they were going to put her in the catacombs down below the church.
Yeah.
If you remember. As you kind of look around, you see again that the place is really busy. There's a lot of people coming and going, and as you, Eris, as you kind of survey the room again and look over, you see Shensen has sort of got her head up against the window, and you can see it looks like she's clearly either passed out, is sleeping, or not really paying attention to anything except whatever's out the window. But it looks like she's probably asleep.
Hey, Nar, you think we should maybe take her back to her room?
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
She seems pretty smashed. I know she's upset about what happened.
Yeah. Maybe when she sobers up, she can help us out.
I'll try to get the attention of Naz.
Okay. It doesn't take much. So Naz, kind of wave, and she looks and she says, "Riddick, stay back. Don't corrupt this young lady." And she walks over. "Hey, hi. How was the soup?"
The soup was delicious.
Ah, good, good.
So my friend over there, the elf at the corner who's passed out, do you know which room she's in? We're gonna take her up there so that, she's just not passed out in your room here.
That's a good idea. Do you know her? Have you've met
We
and talked to
do.
her?
She came into town with us last night.
Last night. She's been upset all day. She was crying last night, and I'm not sure what bothers her, but we may have overserved her. Don't let
Well, she's an adult. She just
That's true.
overdrank.
That's true. I just don't want my license to be pulled. So, she's down and she's at 212 as her room. up on the second floor. Just take those stairs over there. She kind of points, and she's like, go up there, down the hallway, turn left. It's the first room on the left. She didn't want one with a window. I don't know why, but anyways, so I'd take her up there. She probably has a key with her, I think.
Okay.
And she looks and she says, "You're not taking them with you, though, are you?"
Just Jester.
"You're not back down in 5 minutes, Jester. I'm coming up there.
Oh, I'm coming back down.
No funny business."
Don't worry, he's never funny.
Look who's got jokes.
Like, I don't get it.
That's
Kind of goes
fine.
down. You hear all of a sudden she starts
Kind of a
arguing with
comedian.
Riddick. What's that? Kind of comedian. Yeah, she just keeps going. She completely ignores that little comment that you make, and she starts arguing with Riddick about something in the bar and him not cleaning up things. And
All right, I'll go and try to pick her up and take her to her room.
okay, all right, sounds good. So you kind of go over there, and you do see that she's sort of kind of passed out there, and you see the mug is half empty, and the bottle is clearly empty, and she's just sort of sitting there. Kind of pick her up, and she's barely awake, and she kind of says, "Oh, you're back." She puts her arm over your shoulder as you almost completely have to carry her full weight.
Yep. Taking you to your room. We don't want to leave you down here.
Idea. And as you kind of continue to kind of guide her up to the room, and she's like, my key's here, and she's kind of fumbling in her pocket, and she pulls it out, and she looks and she says, "Oh, it's you. It's the funny guy. Tell me a joke on the way."
Oh, kind of put me on the spot there.
Eris, can I have a athletics at disadvantage since you're carrying her?
Whoa,
Athletics?
Yep. Yeah, so you walk a few steps and all of a sudden you stumble and you almost drop her as you do, and then you kind of get back up and you're like, whoa,
I'll help out.
kind of tripping. All right, so now there's two, you tripped over your feet. So now there's two of you, one on each side. And
Great.
so
Well,
Gas, you toss silver a silver piece to Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jester, you're helping her?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
so
helping.
all of a sudden he picks her up and she sort of stumbles and the two of you crash, all three of you onto the floor. Chairs fly everywhere.
I hold out my hand towards Gassy.
It was only one bet. You didn't bet. You didn't follow it up with another one, pal.
I'm gonna look at Eris and be like, "This reminds me of a joke." What did one raindrop say to the other raindrop?
I'm not sure. What did the one raindrop say to the other?
My plop is bigger than your plop. I think my plop was bigger this time.
Just then you go to stand up and you see Naz is there and she picks you up by the scruff, Jester, and she says, "God help us if you ever perform here. Your jokes are terrible." And she puts you down on the ground. She's like, "Oh, here, let me help you up." And she kind of reaches out to Eris and helps up Shensen and very gently sort of guiding you up. And
Sorry for the mess.
Oh,
We'll take care of this.
it's okay. It's all right. It's because you were doing fine until this bonehead tried to help you.
Hey, that's a little mean.
Well, if the shoe fits, and God knows the shoe fits you. Critic's like, "Leave her alone." And she's like, "I'm not picking on them. It's this buffoon." He's like, "You mean baboon?"
Ba-boom.
He kind of brushes you off, Eris, and brushes off Shensen. She's like, "You guys okay? Do you need help? Do you need me to help you get her up there, or you got this?"
I think we've got this.
Alrighty. She goes back and she eyes Jester. She's like, "Be more careful next time."
Okay.
You guys are able to kind of work up the stairs, and you get up up into the hallway and make your way down towards the room of 212. So Gassy and Lee, you guys are there at the bar, and it's the three of you, you and Jack. Jack's just sort of standing there watching everything, I guess. Az walks up. She
Yeah.
says, "If you're not gonna drink, you guys got to move. We got other
Jack
people
will
looking to
help
get the bar."
at this.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Jack, come with you guys. Okay. Especially you, dwarf. You're taking up too much space. Those shoulders are too wide. Two people could stand there.
Thank you.
Move along, unless you're buying another drink. You buying more
But
drinks?
We gotta wait for our friends. So
Wait over there at the
horses.
wait over by the table that they just left. You're taking up a precious bar space.
No, I'm gonna sit here where I've been sitting all night,
And
and I've still got ale in this glass here. So
well,
shove
drink up.
off.
Drink up. She's like, Riddick, your boys won't leave. Riddick's like, leave them alone. She's like, I'm not gonna leave them alone. They're not buying any drinks. They kind of argue back and forth about you two sitting there.
Well, somebody else
Gassy,
can buy. Lee can buy.
Gassy, I think she's sweet on you.
Yeah, I think so too.
So, as they continue, you guys get up to her room, and you see that you've sort of kind of made your way, and these rooms are pretty nice doors on the outside, and you see on the far end of the hall there's a what looks like maybe a bath that's down there, like a private bathroom that's there, and as you get around the corner, Shensen goes, "Oh yeah, if you get a room, you get a free bath access," which was great, but I'm good right now. I didn't puke yet, so let's I'm right here. Points to the door.
All right, I will take the key from her because I've done this dance before.
Sounds good. So she hands you the key, and she's like, "I could do it."
I'm sure you could, but let me go ahead and do it for you.
Okay. So as you guys unlock the door and the door opens, you see that the room appears that it was not really slept in at all. The bed's completely made and whatnot, and you see that there's a backpack that's sort of sitting there, and you remember she didn't have a backpack, but maybe it was given to her from her friend or whatnot, and you see there's various papers that are sort of sitting on the desk that's there, and she goes, "Oh, wait, come here, come in, please, come in, you too, big metal guy, come on, quick, close the door, I got secrets."
Okay. We'll
Got
go in there.
secrets.
Secrets. She kind of walks over, and she kind of stumbles over to the bed and makes her way over to the table, and she starts rifling through the papers, and she's like, "Nah," and she throws it down. You see as it rolls away, it's got like magic runes on it as it rolls by, and she looks at it and she goes, "Nah." She throws that one, and it sort of rolls by as well, and she goes, "Aha, this is the one," and she picks it up, and she goes, "Here, you need this." And she's sort of hands shaking all, and she's got it up all proud, like she's showing you her eyes are all bloodshot. "This'll figure it out."
What is it?
So it's a scroll. It has a whole bunch of writing on it and whatnot. You can tell it's a magical scroll. Let me see if you can. Definitely magical. You can see that it's clearly magical. Yeah, so you don't have any idea what it is.
What about you, Nar?
I'll take a.
So as you look at it, Nar, you do immediately recognize sort of the writing that's on here and everything.
Look at it.
Oh yeah, I sent you a message. Did you not get it?
Yeah. Speak with animal, right?
Yeah. Yep. She goes, "You can go back and ask those baboons who it was." That was my
Do you
plan in the
have a-
morning.
Do you have a speak with dead by chance?
Kind of goes back to the pile, and she starts kind of rifling through, and she's kind of looking through. She's like, "Oh, wait. I don't have speak with dead, but I have this." And she holds up another scroll, and it's all kind of like crumpled and everything like that. And as she holds it up, she shows it to you, and she goes, "How about this?" And as you kind of look through, you see that this one also is is written out, but it's not speak with dead. That'll help you.
Um, yeah, that would be good if we need to find the mace, but that's locate object.
I don't know. I don't have anything for dead.
Oh, we could use that for the wand,
Ooh.
couldn't we?
I can see the light bulb come on.
There's a little light bulb. It's dim. It's flickering. All right. Yeah, we'll take those. Thanks. What do I owe you?
Ah, your good friend bringing me up here, and she's like, "Oh God, I'm gonna puke."
Do it over near the tub.
Uh-huh. I need you
Oh,
both to
puke
make.
in this bag. I'll take her bag and open it up.
All right. Well, I'll need a dexterity save from you, Jester, then, to see if you can grab the bag in time and get it there just in case.
If not, I'll just clean it up with prestidigitation.
Sounds good. Damn, dude. So you see, like, cat-like speed, Jester reaches over, grabs the bag, opens it up, has it right at her mouth, and it just kind of fills up the entire bag, and she goes, oh no, those are my clothes.
Oh, sorry.
I think they've got a cleaning service here. Yeah, you could just maybe set it right outside and they'll pick it up, clean it up, return it in the morning.
Her eyes sort of, you see, just kind of like roll a little bit, and she falls into the bed and starts snoring.
All right, I'll prop her up on her side.
Gotcha. Yep. Snoring away.
I'll stand
Solid.
over her bag and see if I can take care of it. I'll do my jazz hands and presto.
All right, gotcha. As you do, you see that she has two sets of traveling clothes that are in there, and then you see really down in the bottom, you see what looks like a another scroll case that's there, but this one's sealed and has a little marking on it.
Oh, I better make sure I clean everything off. Oh, I'll take a look at it.
All righty, gotcha. You trying to look at the symbol, or are you going to open up the scroll case because it's sealed with wax?
No, I'm not gonna open it up. I'll just look at the symbol.
Okay, I need a history check.
Can I help him with something like
Absolutely, you can.
I'll show it to Eris, and then we'll decide who should do the history. I have a +1.
that? I've got a +2.
I'll let you have advantage on it.
I'll assist Eris then.
All right. Ooh, okay. All right, Eris, you can have an advantage on it. That's fine. Helped her. Worked. So on the inscription, or on the marking that's there, Eris, you see it's a bird cage.
Wait, what? A bird cage?
Oh,
Like the one that I'll pull out the plank that I've got in my backpack?
It is the same.
I don't mean to pry, Eris, but maybe we should keep this and ask her about it.
Yeah, do you think that she's in, working with the people?
I hope not, but maybe.
Can I go through the rest of her stuff?
Do whatever you want. She's passed out.
Yeah, I'll look through the rest of her papers and things in the
Oh.
room to see if there's anything else related to this, like the symbol.
Gotcha. So as you go through the papers on the scrolls that are there and whatnot, you see that the other scroll she has is like, make food and water and things like that. So nothing of significant, just level 1 spells that you have there. As you go through the remaining of the paperwork that's there, you see that there's sort of some paperwork that sort of discuss the lucky monkey, and you see that it has actually building plans. They're fairly old, on how to build it, and the dimensions that they wanted, the rooms and whatnot. And you can see the proprietor's names in there too, and you can see she sort of has almost a ledger, a log. Now none of this is inside the bag, right? The bag just has a scroll case and has the 2 sets of clothes. And then But as you kind of search around, you do see that she has just some general belongings of notes and things of her rangerish druidic sort of things, and she's a druid. You've recognized that now going through all her stuff, but she does seem to be sort of the carekeeper of the lucky monkey in the areas surrounding the lucky monkey itself, through the Striders of Farhan. She's definitely affiliated with them. You can tell that from all the writings and whatnot and the notes she has.
So I don't understand the connection that she's got with these people. So you think we should hang on to this scroll you said, Jester?
Maybe we just ask her about it in the morning, because she peeked in her bag, so I was presto in it, and we just kind of stumbled across it. Not like we were prying.
Okay, so just speak with her about it when she's sober.
Maybe, or should we look at it? I wish I had mending.
I did too.
Let me see if I took. I don't think I took it. Do I have anything else?
Can you like heat it up so that you can peel it off?
Maybe, yeah. Does it have any designs in the wax guide?
So it's a sort of a yellowish colored wax, and the only thing is you see maybe a signet ring or something was sort of pushed the shape into it, but no, nothing else. I mean, it would no designs at all. Just got wax kind of all around it with that signet ring pushed on it. Impression.
What about the rest of the case? Is there anything else in the case that I could?
So it's made out of bamboo, and so it's solid. The other end seems to have been sort of corked in, if you want to think of it as sorts. So there's a top on the one end, a cork on the bottom end. But you see that the wood, somebody has probably cast some spell to manipulate wood or something like that has made it completely smooth, and there's no like way to get in there and pull it out necessarily.
Hmm. You think we should just open it and read it?
Well, how much do you trust her? Well, yeah.
Not that much.
Crack it open and we can just say that she fell on it or something like that.
Okay, I'll crack it open.
Alrighty,
I'm
so
gonna
you
try and be as careful as possible. Do you want a sleight of hand for that?
sure.
I'm gonna try to only crack it in like non-detailed spots on that signet part.
Okay.
Maybe use my finger to like kind of push around it to create a weak spot. So maybe I can keep that signet spot in
Okay.
one piece.
Gotcha.
Why's it got sleight of hand going off con for me? That's weird.
It probably got clicked or something. Because you can click them and change them.
It's Dex, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'll take your word for it.
I think it's Dex.
Alrighty. So as you work on it, you are able to keep the symbol intact, but the line that you made to kind of cut around it isn't quite perfect. So if somebody was to look at it, they would be able to tell that it had been open. But that being said, you've kept the wax insignia signet ring impression is all intact. So they wouldn't be able to tell from that. They could just tell from the other side that it had been open.
Okay. We'll read it.
So as you pull out the scroll that's inside there, you see that the note is from Myrthin, who, if you remember, that's who she had said was the lead. And the note says, All Striders of Farlon, you are to come immediately to the city of Cauldron to investigate the symbol that was included on top of this scroll case. As is known by our training and the things we do, we always examine things before we destroy them. I need you to continue to look around for possible leads into this symbol and its cause.
That's it? Nothing else?
Yep, it's just signed Myrthan, and it says, please feel free to meet with me at the Drowning Morkoth. I'll be using my typical alias.
All right. I'm going to use a candle to like heat my finger, and then I'm going to try and smooth
Smooth it
out
out? Okay, go ahead and do another sleight of hand. Yeah, so you smooth it out, and it seems to have smoothed out pretty well, and it's even less noticeable now at this point.
I'll throw it back in her bag.
Well, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
We probably should have just asked her.
Yeah. No harm.
Well, there's so many shady people around here lately.
Yeah. I guess maybe we'll head down and see if anybody else learned anything.
Yep, that sounds good.
Alrighty. As you all kind of head back down there, you leave the key with her, I assume?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha. And as you all make your way down, you see that Lee is talking again to Naz at the bar. You see that Riddick is kind of arguing about something with somebody at the bar. They're talking about the winners of the water polo and whatnot. And Lee, as you look at her and you hold up, how much did you say you hold up? 3 coppers?
Yep.
He says, "Sure, I got something for you. First watch logger. Hang on, I'll be right back." She kind of cheapskate. Jeez, oh Pete. Walks over to the thing and she pours it. And as she does, you can see it's like it's. I don't want to be rude to any beer, but it's Miller Lite essentially. So it pours out, and she brings it over
that's
and
my beer.
I knew it. And she slaps it down, and she's like, "Here you go."
Thanks.
Called First Watch because it's first watch in the morning. People drink it, but that's all you can afford. No problem. She takes the copper and tucks it in her shirt.
Hey, this is a little bit better than what I'm used to drinking.
This is great stuff.
Wait, are you getting drunk here? What's going on?
It's just like water.
Without all the bad things in it.
Right.
It's like the 2% beer.
It is, yeah.
They've
Blitz, but I
invented
don't
near
think anybody
beer.
knows that beer.
They've invented near beer. You guys were gone a long time.
Oh yeah. Well, had to help her get to her room. Did you figure anything out down here?
Gassy doesn't talk much.
No, we were kind of quiet, weren't we? After you stole my money.
Hey, a bet's a bet. As my Uncle PT always said, sucker every minute.
And what's with this cheap beer you bought after it? You could have at least bought something worth 2 coppers each.
I worked hard for that money. I can't afford to get rid of it.
Least you could do with 1 silver.
Are you mad because I didn't buy you one?
You didn't buy me one? I thought you got 5 for 3 coppers.
No, I got one for 3 copper.
Oh, okay. You only got yourself a beer. Hey, Naz, he was buying around for us all.
Like, what?
Yeah, that was supposed to be 5 beers.
You don't want to drink that crap. You want the good stuff. I mean, you're a
Yeah,
dwarf, for God's sakes.
on Lee, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well, you better ask Lee if he's got any money before you start doling that out there.
Well, what do you do with all your money?
I donate it to a charity.
You hear this guy behind goes, "It's a storm blade, yay!" And they all sort of pat you on the back.
I hold up my mug.
Yeah, they cheer, "Storm blades!"
What charity do you donate to?
Good cause.
Well, maybe I want to donate. Which one is it?
You give it to me and I'll make sure they get it.
No. I'll go with you.
I'll let you know the next time I'm going over there, okay?
Mumble, mumble, mumble.
Well, we did get some scrolls that maybe we could use.
But she gave us the locate object and what else?
And speak with animals. So if we run into any more baboons, we can maybe capture one and talk to it. Do we want to go see if we can get Sacrum to talk?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you ready, Lee?
Do we have to make any sort of roll to see if we're inebriated?
Yeah, how many drinks have you guys had?
Let me count.
3 or 4.
Well, Gassy, I mean, I think, don't you have actually a skill that prevents you from becoming inebriated or gives you advantage? Lee's had 6? Holy crap. Yeah, Lee does.
I'm good.
All right.
These
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Well, let me see.
How much
had,
did
like,
you have,
4.
Jester? 4? Yeah, we'll have you
Do
roll.
I get advantage for having a Miller Lite in the middle of that, or?
No, you don't. Lee, you're good. Jester's not so good.
Wait, he had 3 plus a Miller Lite? Is that what he said?
Yeah.
So then I'm telling him as the monkey flies over the side, hot air, baboon. Hot air, baboon, you get it, Jack?
Eris only had, I think, a glass of wine and a drink, right? Eris, did you have a couple drinks? How many? Oh, you had 2 drinks. I
There's
think.
No,
still
I had
2 full ones sitting at her spot.
Right. She had soup.
I doubt that. I'm pretty sure Lee grabbed those.
Oh yeah, Lee must have drank those.
That's how he got to 6.
Stupid to let him go to waste. You guys paid for him. I mean, you want to throw your money away? Here I am.
Are you fellas up for going back over to the church?
Sure.
I'm good to go.
I'm ready to go. I'll start walking off and walk into the wall.
You see Jack comes over and kind of helps Jester sort of kind of get in the right direction. Where are you guys off to now?
I think we were going to back over to the church.
Alrighty.
We're gonna see if we can get Jenya to interrogate the corpse.
Alrighty. Sounds good. All
Oh
right.
wait,
So
wait, 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 wait. I just can imagine that being understood by Jester as he's inebriated that she's going to interrogate the dead guy.
right. All right, so y'all kind of make your way across the street. It's you were there for several hours actually at the Morcloth Inn, and you kind of make your way down the street, and as you guys as you're all kind of moving your way down, you do hear a couple people sort of yell out, Aquanauts type of thing as you walk by, and you see some of the city folk that you know, and they kind of ask what you guys are up to, and where you up to now, and once you get into the church and you guys get back over there, you see that Rufus is obviously gone. Right? You see Jenya's kind of in the church proper, and she's just kind of putting some flowers in some vases that are there. And she sees you walk in, and she says, "Ah, how's it going? Please tell me you found the wands."
No, no, we haven't, not yet.
Very unfortunate. Did you check on the other churches? The more since you said that last night, I'm very concerned that maybe they have been causing problems, and maybe they do know where the wands are, or maybe they even hid them on us. I mean, I don't. Maybe. What do you think?
Well, one of the things that we came up with this idea of maybe speaking with um, Sarcom. Sackled?
Yeah, she just kind of long. I think it's I don't remember Sarcum Sackum, whatever. It won't matter here in a little bit. So she just sort of stares at you for a minute and kind of stone faced. You want to go into the catacombs?
Well, not really, but I think he was there when the wands were taken, so it might be a good lead to possibly find out if he can tell us what happened, who took them.
Says, "Follow me." She immediately starts walking towards her office. As she gets in there, she reaches down and pulls out a scroll, and she hands it to Gassy. Here you go.
I kind of look at it in disbelief. This is kind of above my capabilities.
I'm out of spell slots, aka I can't cast anymore.
Okay, well, I'll give it a try. Hopefully it works.
She looks in, she says, "You just have to have faith."
Cassie, have you ever participated in this before?
No, 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 never. This will be new for me.
Do you know how many questions we get to ask?
She looks to you, and then she uh, looks to Gassy, and she's like, "You've studied this, right?"
A little. I really never thought I'd have to do this.
Eyes. He
So
slowly gives you kind of the information that you would know on the Speak with Dead spell, so you could tell your group if you want to. Says now, I don't even know if this is going to work. His head was cut off.
Will it hurt to try though?
it doesn't say how many questions. It just
Because
says it'll last 10 days.
you know,
To
it's
remember stuff within the last 10 days.
5 questions. In the second paragraph there.
On the scroll description.
Oh, it's under the spell itself, actually. That's I linked the spell in the communication in the. She kind of starts to guide you all down into the catacombs of the Church of Saint Cuthbert. As you do, you see that this actually the catacombs are quite extensive underneath the church here, and she takes you down to the first level that's there, and walks about by many sort of stoned, closed sort of sarcophagus and things of the sort, and she comes to the area where you can see this is kind of the high priest area for the church, and you see there's about 12 different sort of sarcophagi, we'll call it, that are there. And she goes over to one that looks like it's sort of brand new, and she opens the lid, and you can see that his body is in there. It's all wrapped, and you see next to that one there's a new sarcophagus there with the lid open that's empty. Or it looks brand new. It's just been chiseled out of stone. There's no sort of kind of gleams as it's there.
Will this be his?
Did you ask her that?
Yes.
No, that goes to the new high priest or priestess. She smiles. She says, "That one is mine."
Well, hopefully you won't have to use it a while.
Her eyes get big a little bit after that, and she just sort of smiles and she says, "That's good advice. I'll try to make sure that I don't use it very soon." She says, "When you're done, please put the lid back on the sarcophagus." She says, she kind of lovingly sort of taps Gassy on the shoulder, and she's like, "You got this." And she kind of turns around and starts to walk away.
Okay, I'll read the
Should
spell.
shouldn't we figure out what we're gonna ask him first?
Gassy's already starting to like look at the scroll, and you stop him.
Okay. Figure it out. I'm doing the spell.
Well, so we only have 5 spells. Is it like yes or no questions, or is it something that we can ask details?
Blink
I
your eye
don't think
once for Miller Lite, twice for Thunder Ale.
you'll have much to say.
That'd be a good one.
It could be yes or no. It could be a little bit more than that. And we got to be careful that we don't ask similar questions because he might just repeat the same answer. That's kind of what I know.
I think we, I guess, ask who took the wands. What do they want with it? Um, Ooh, maybe ask him if there's one of the churches that are behind it. I don't know. That's all I can think of.
So that's 3. I didn't write them down, so I hope you remind me.
I
Ask
didn't
him
write them down either.
for the name of anybody we should talk to. Also, like if there's like maybe he knows somebody's name or something. But, well, that one may.
That one might be a little vague, but he might have an answer. Don't know.
Yeah, he may just tell us the high priestess.
Well, let's ask those 3 and see if the answers give us any more.
Now we gotta be careful not to ask each other things in front of him. Look at Jack.
If Jack was here, if Jack's player was here, he would understand that completely.
Jack
All right.
stands up.
Yeah, right.
Okay, I'm going to read the scroll.
Okay, gotcha. So it's going to be a spell.
Yeah, I got to roll 13 or higher.
That's exactly right.
Ooh, you know what?
Well,
Can
the
I
good
give him
news, that's a
bardic
save.
inspiration?
You can give him Bart. Look at this. Look at this.
But that's
yes.
the same. That's my spelling, my spell casting.
I gotcha.
thing,
All right.
same.
Cool. All right. And then, yeah, if, well, look at that. Nice job.
Ability check, yeah.
Phew. Well, that was lucky.
All right. So, so you feel like you have cast the spell? Feel like you have a connection with his dead head?
Sacrum, who took the wands?
So you hear his voice. He says, all right, I'm still here. I apologize. I was looking for. He says, Triel Elderost. Used to know her. She used to come to church. Red hair. Tattoos. Armor. Next door. Took them off my body.
I turn around and look at Eris and say, and kind of mouth, what's next?
I do a thing with my fingers where it's like I do a church. Then I flip it around and I do all the people inside. Then I'm kind of like lost in my own little game.
We're one of the we're one of the churches involved in taking it.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Gassy, what was that again?
We're one of the churches involved in taking the wands.
Gotcha. So he says, not directly. I suspect one has involvement in something. Can't trust them.
Which one?
Church within the bowl.
Let's see if I got paper. What's the ground? Is the ground dust?
It's got some dirt on it. Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna right in the dirt below Gassy. Maybe ask if he knows where the wands are now.
Do you know where the wands are now? Are you talking?
Yeah, could you hear me? He said no.
No.
He
He
said
said
no.
no.
Yep. Sorry, it didn't come across.
I hold up one finger. We got one more.
Right in the dirt again.
Okay.
What did you write this time? I'm reading it.
Maybe if does she know or does he know anyone else that was involved in taking the wands other than Trio?
Yeah. Is there anyone else you know of involved in taking the wands other than Triel?
He says, tongue eater before he cut off my head. Artist knows all.
That was Artist Knows All?
Yep.
That was 5.
Yeah, that was it.
Do I recognize the name artist?
That's a good question. So not off the top of your head, however, investigation or history, if you want, for the city, that would be fine.
I'll
So as
give
you, oh, go ahead.
inspiration.
Sounds good. Nope. That was a nice roll, though. But nope. So you guys look around. You see that Lee didn't come down with you. Matter of fact, he didn't even enter the church, so he's actually outside when you guys are there.
Well, I guess we'll go up and see if Jenya knows Artist. Tongue Eater, was that the monkey we killed?
Yeah, the one with the rings.
So as you guys are down there, kind of discussing things and deciding to come back up, Lee, you're sitting outside on one of the benches. You said.
If there's a bench near it, otherwise I'm sitting on the ground next near the doors.
There's benches in the kind of the sort of flower garden that they have there, so you could sit in there, or if you want to sit on the street and just sit on on the steps there, you could do that too.
Yeah, whatever's closest to the doors.
Okay, so you're kind of sitting there. You see people kind of moving back and forth across Obsidian Avenue, and you all of a sudden hear somebody go, "Psst, psst, Mister."
I look around.
You quickly kind of look around. You see a child sort of standing next to the building, sort of in ragged clothes, and it has like a shoe, but the shoe's got a huge hole in the toe. And he's like, "Mister, do you have any copper?"
Down to my last 2. But you know what? I'll let you have one. Don't tell anybody.
Oh, thank you, Mister. And kind of comes running over quickly to you, and kind of leans into you, puts the hands out.
I'll dig down into my pocket until I can find a copper and give it to him.
Alrighty. He's like, thank you. And you see, puts it in his pocket real quick, and he reaches into his shirt, and as he does, he pulls out a small note and he hands it to you. He says, "Thank you, sir. It's so kind of you to take care of us people that are down and out."
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, yeah. Get something to stuff that shoe with too.
I appreciate it. And you see, starts kind of running around the building, and you see quickly sort of darts into the alleyway, and you recognize immediately that that kid has had some training.
I'll give it a couple of minutes and then look down at what he gave me.
Okay. All right. So for the rest of the group, you guys are down there. I assume you cover up the sarcophagus, right? Put everything back the way it
Yeah.
was.
Yep.
Do you clean up the dirt writing or leave it?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And then you're going to head back up. As you do, you get towards the end of the catacombs, and you see Jenya's there, and she's sort of pacing back and forth, sort of at the base of the steps. And she sees you coming, and she immediately stops. She says, "Oh, I was gonna go upstairs, and I just want to make sure nobody came down to bother you all when you were doing your important things. Did you learn what you needed?"
Told us some very interesting stuff.
Do you know anyone or familiar with anyone named Artis?
Doesn't sound familiar to me at all. See a placard for a priest in the catacombs with that name? I
No. The answer was Artis knows all when we asked who else was there or who else knew about the wands. I'm not sure the exact wording of the question.
think that's the killer.
I'm not sure. Well, no, technically, we know that it was Tongue Eater was the baboon, were-baboon.
Yeah.
I never saw him. But we
Artist.
know that Trill Elderost is the one who is involved also.
Yes. Oh man, that's a name from the past. She used to come to this church. She got cast out about 10 years ago. Reportedly
Yeah.
killed some guards. Hasn't been seen since. Most says she died in the woods.
Yeah, apparently she had the hex door symbol on her armor now.
Nods, and she said, "So she's the one who put the symbol on."
Maybe.
That's appropriate. He takes takes her under his wing for a long time, and then she repairs him by cutting his head off and branding him.
So was it ever determined why she ended up murdering the guards?
Well, not officially. Lots of rumors, right? Lots of discussions. Lots of people have their things. One of them said she was having an affair with the captain, and it got found out, so she killed them all. Another one is that they would always tease her on the gate because she was the only female there, and there's lots of different rumors of why, but I don't think anybody knows for sure. All right. Let's
That went quiet.
yeah, quiet real quick. Is everybody okay going a little longer tonight? Or does anybody have to go early?
Yeah, I can
I
go longer.
actually have to get up later.
Oh,
I
do you
mean,
have
I
to get
can
up
go
early?
for a bit longer, but
Okay, gotcha.
yeah, I can't go
That's
too late.
that's what I was gonna ask to see. So okay, all right, sounds good. So she and looks at Joe and she says, "Now what?"
I need coffee. And then Nargo's wandering off. He's like looking for water or coffee. He's wandering around.
Sounds
Finally
good.
heads that then. I'll catch up with you guys later.
She kind of follows with she says, "Well, there's no sense hanging out in the catacombs. You got what you needed. Let's go." You guys upstairs.
Do you know anything about some guy named Ike Iverson over at the Weehas?
Nods. Says, "Yeah, Ike's been over there a long time. He's one of the he's kind of like me, right? Not the high priestess there. High priestess is Emerald, but he's kind of the go-to, the second-hand person. He deals with most of the day-to-day operations. Why do you ask?"
Oh, one of our contacts mentioned him, but I don't remember the context. She just said that he might be a person that we should speak to.
Think she knows where the wands are. I mean, I've worked with him before. I mean, we're kind of at the same level, so we work together a lot. He's sort of an aloof kind of person. Doesn't really care about anything for the most part, unless it's Ouija's related. But I don't know. Maybe. Involved, huh?
Well, Sakram said that there was a church who's not directly involved in what happened, but they are involved in something else.
Hmm. Well, churches are always into certain things, right? I mean, we try to keep our nose clean, but sometimes we maybe get involved in things that we regret later. Maybe the Church of Palor, right? Or it could be Ouija's. Hard to say. A lot of politics that happens in the religious sector.
Yeah,
Imagine.
sounds like it.
Side we don't like people to know about. As I if you want overnight tonight, I can kind of starve justice and see if I can find some information for you.
I think that would be helpful.
That you're all sort of got lots of leads. It's just figuring out what to do with them. Kind of indicates to y'all, and she says, "Going to go ahead and start to prepare that. It takes me some time, as you can imagine." Walks away.
So it's pretty late in the afternoon, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of late afternoon, early evening, kind of supper time.
Gassy, is there anything else we need to do here? You want to meet back up with Lee and take off?
No, I can't think of anything. We have a plan of where we're going.
Well, I think we need to find Trill, Elderost. Need to figure out who Artis is, because the head said Artis knows all. Maybe that's somebody that we need to speak with.
Mm-hmm.
Shinson said that Ike Iverson at the Weejas might have some information.
Okay. Well, we can head over there.
Right now?
No, tomorrow maybe. It's getting late, isn't it?
It's the late afternoon dinner time.
Well, we could go now then, if you'd like.
So Lee, about an hour has gone by as you're sitting out on the porch, watching people walk by.
Where the hell did these guys go? I don't hear them in there anymore. Wait, did Jester come out?
Yeah, I think he did actually.
Yeah, looking for coffee.
Where are you off to?
I get a cup of coffee.
See across the road there's a moon star that you see that is in pretty much every city, and they seem to serve some drinks.
I'll head over there and go sit down and have a cup of coffee.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Try and drink off the booze.
right. Red square sign. It's got a guy in it with a horse. In the All right.
Where are the others?
Oh, they're still in there.
You're able to get a coffee for a couple copper.
Oh, sweet. I'll make a face in the little foam on the top of my coffee.
There you go.
And,
Nice.
I'll show it to Lee.
I like it.
Look, Lee, it's a depresso. It's a frowny face.
Are you sure you should drink that?
Oh yeah, I've only had this finger in the dirt of a crypt. It should be fine.
That's funny.
I'll sit down and drink my coffee with Jack.
All righty, gotcha. I assume Eris and Gassy, you guys come out as well.
Yep.
Yep.
Party's all back together again.
So what did you learn?
Don't put your dirty finger in your coffee. I've been chewing through grit and sand this whole time. Oh, you meant about the whole situation with the wands?
Yeah, about the wands.
The part I was there for. Church within the bowl is involved, so it could be any of the churches in this cauldron. I'll look around to see if anybody's listening.
Okay, sounds good.
Tongue eater and knows where the wands are, but he's dead. And then the artist knows all. And then the elf.
And the redhead took the wands.
Yeah, she's got tattoos and Hextor on her armor.
Who the hell's Artis?
We don't know.
We were hoping you would know.
I don't think I've ever heard the name before.
Haven't, Lee. A well-dressed lady behind you says, "The wands? They're gone? Oh my gosh, this is terrible."
I know. I don't know how they're going to fix my hair without the wands.
Oh, I thought you meant the wands that for the festival.
Well, I
Oh no,
do. The
no,
wands of hairdo. I mean, they're missing.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
I'm his hairdresser and I need my wands. I
Oh,
start like messing with his hair.
alrighty.
Do you want me to do your hair? I do hair on Fridays.
So
Sometimes it's long.
one of you needs a deception roll. Lee.
I'll do one.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
No, he can go ahead.
I saw your roll, Lee. Oh man, you should have. All right. So she's like, oh, thank goodness. I was hoping you weren't saying the wands were missing, because if the wands were missing, the place will flood, and those poor people down in the lower rings. I'll be fine. I live on Obsidian Avenue, but those people down there, it'd just be, oh, just terrible.
Oh, what wands are you talking about? Because I live down there.
The control water wands, the ones that the. If you live in town, you know what the flood festival's about. Don't try to tease me.
I just moved here.
Oh well, you need a better location.
Oh, people don't tip their hairdressers, and then
Says, fine. She throws you 2 copper for your time.
Oh, thanks. Make sure
Don't
you stop by for a cut, fluff, and dye.
walks out.
You know, Lee, you should really trim this. You're getting some split ends here. 'Cause I'm messing with his hair.
Yeah, the last time I got a haircut, this happened, and I'm going to lift the eye patch on my eye,
All right, sounds good.
and behind it is just a hollow spot where an eye used to be.
Oh,
Has Nar's hair grown back yet?
He's got that funny looking wig thing going on there.
Okay.
It's still
I'm just
stubbly.
thinking, as a hairdresser, you might
Yeah.
not have been too. But apparently, it worked. So
a little stubbly.
I'm going to give you guys something, but don't say anything right now. And I will hand the note to Eris and say, read this and then pass it around to Gassy and Jester.
Pass it around the room.
Yeah.
You guys all see this note as it gets passed around to y'all.
Let's take a walk and then we can see what you guys think about it.
So is
I
that
checked to
just
make
for
sure
you?
that's not Lee's handwriting.
That's awesome.
You
All right.
know, the funny thing is, I had that very basic initial thought when it's like, oh shit, I was doing all that stuff earlier with the drinks, and now they're not going to believe crap about this.
No, you're still drunk.
500 gold.
He blurts it out in the middle of the room.
Who wants 500 gold for that?
Jester,
Oh yeah.
Did you remember that new joke you were going to tell us?
Oh, what's that? The depresso joke? Depresso. Start
Yeah,
making
yeah,
coffee
that's
sounds.
it. Let's head back to Eris's place. I think that's the most secure place that we could talk.
Yes, I
Okay.
have an investigation roll from you, by the way.
Who did you ask that of?
Gassy. Gassy, please. Investigation. You guys are going to head back to Eris's place? Eris, you okay with that?
No, I
I got
complained
up and
about
started walking when I said that. So
Which one is she at? Tygots or the other one?
Near the ancient anvil, I think, actually.
who? My place?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's near the ancient anvil.
Off of middle lantern or middle wand? I can't remember which one you're off of.
Yeah, it's
Right next to it.
like right above the pavilion.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the perfect spot.
I'll
We'll
grumble
start
about
heading
it,
that way.
but
But you
yeah.
do it. You allow them in.
Hey, Lee, don't you have a place over here too?
Yeah, mine's just across the hall from yours, but you got food in here. Oh, by the way, that reminds me, we're running low on bread.
I'm gonna say to Eris as we're walking over, you know that handwriting looks an awful lot like Lee's.
I would agree with you, but he's not that neat.
All right. So as you guys get inside there, Eris, you see that there's like a just the butt end of your bread is sitting there, and the rest is all gone.
You're gonna have to start replacing this legally.
Yeah, and we'll discuss the definition of that later. But right now, we need to talk about this note that was given to me.
That's pretty handy, wasn't it?
It cost me a copper piece to get it.
And you're gonna walk away with 500 gold coins, eh?
Hey, are you accusing me of something? Say it if you are.
But you're pretty tight-fisted.
That's because I'm broke.
Oh, better start saving your own money.
Well, it's up to you guys whether you want to, if it's worth it to you or not.
Well, there's not many people who know that the wands are missing.
I would agree. Us, the priest you told, and the people who took it.
And is drunk down at the bar.
I assure you, though, Cassie, this is not my writing. If I wanted to rip you guys off, why would I try and do it when you're awake?
Yeah, you probably would. You'd probably do it when we're dead.
Some kid brought this to me outside of the Cuthberts up there.
So are you gonna go meet them? And then we can just be back up hiding?
Well, I don't trust them, whoever they are. I'm not going to walk around with 500 gold and walk into a place by myself and say, "Oh, here's your money." So I don't know what to do about it.
Well, they obviously handed it to you, so you're the one that's going to get the 500 gold coins and walk down there alone. And how are we going to back you up from somewhere?
Who's the closest in size to me and shape, semi shape?
Jester, I think, would be the closest, right? Or maybe Eris. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm probably pretty close. I mean, I'm a half elf. Lee's a half elf, I think, right?
At least human.
Or human.
Eris, probably. Eris.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
could probably pass as a human though, if it's dark.
Yeah.
I'm 120 pounds, so I'm fairly skinny. Both of them are kind of skinny and about my height, right?
Oh, you'd have to ask them specifically. I don't remember what their stats are.
I'm gonna look at each of them. Which one of them looks like they're closer to my 5'4"? No
Well,
hunching down, Nar.
Eris is exactly 5'4".
I'm
You
5
guys are the same
foot
size.
5 and 145.
Can't ask Eris. That's not polite.
Eris, how much do you weigh? If anything, we know Lee's not polite.
It doesn't matter that they would know right down to the pound how much you weigh.
I'm
It's
just trying
going
to
to
get.
Maybe
be
they work at a
dark.
circus.
I'm just trying.
Have you ever been to a circus? It guess you while you're going walking around the thing.
I'll answer that, Eris, as soon as I get done laughing.
Lost 2
I'm
copies.
just
by
trying to
the
get
way.
an idea of which one of you is closer in appearance weight-wise to me. Here's my thought. One of the two of you, hopefully, Nar has some kind of makeup kit or something, or whatever it is, and could make one of you two look enough like me that you could take the 500 gold and go in and get the information.
Seems like they want to talk specifically to you.
Yeah, but if you guys look like me, then they won't know, right?
Until they open their mouth and talk.
I'm not keen on this. I don't trust them.
Yeah, but you don't trust anybody.
Seems like
Yeah.
a decent lead. It's better than anything else we got.
I agree.
Who'd we meet at the Lakeside Pavilion before? We met somebody else there. It was the Rogues, right?
All right. How about
Yeah.
this? How about you guys keep the 500 gold on you, back on the other side of the street, so that that you're not there as backup. I can go in and meet them, look the area over. If I feel like it's secure enough, then I can come back and get the person with the money and bring them up, and we can make the trade.
They did a solid last time, didn't they?
I don't know who this is.
It's just weird they picked the same place twice.
Well, it's a pretty prominent place in the city, and especially down on this rung.
Who's got the extra? Jack and Eris should have the extra hit points on them. That's probably worn off by now. It's been 8 hours since we woke up.
Got it. Jack's at his base right now, currently.
I guess the question is what are your guys' thoughts on this, and are you willing to give up 500 gold?
We're not really going to give up 500 gold because they're going to tell us what we need to know. Then we're going to beat them to a pulp for trying to extort us.
Works for me.
Works for me.
Okay, then.
You know, you're sounding really shady right now, Lee.
Why? Because I don't trust them?
We don't have to trust them. We just need their information.
Yeah, but you guys are the ones wanting me to walk in there with no backup.
You'll be fine.
You're the one they're expecting.
just keep an eye out the entire time.
I always have an eye out.
Oh.
I'm gonna walk over and take the last piece of bread. Start eating.
Alrighty.
Well, I got 220 gold. I'll chip in.
Well, there's 5 of us. I'll put 100 in.
Holy
Well, I
cow.
don't think Lee has 100.
Nope.
X loaded, huh?
So that's 150 each from the other 4 of us.
Yeah, Jack's rich. You see that?
I do. He doesn't buy anything. He never spends his money.
Well, he doesn't eat and he doesn't drink. And you pay for his room and board.
It's 125 from the other 4 of us. Sorry, my math was off there for a second.
125. All right, I'll kick it in.
All right.
So you want me to go in there alone?
We're gonna be close.
All right, but I still don't think I should walk in there with the money. You guys
That's
hold it until I
probably-
go. You guys
that's probably a good
hold it
idea.
until I go in and see what's there.
But what if they just disappear after it says bring 500 coins? You walk away with location once. Just go with the 500 coins, Lee. And if you need us, caw like a bird.
Yeah,
Call.
that'll be the symbol. That'll be the signal.
Yep.
Still think this is a horrible idea.
So we all give Lee the 125.
Yeah,
I'm keeping
alright.
my eye on him real close.
Yeah, I took it all out of mine.
I did too.
All right. Sounds good. So you guys give the money to him. You kind of wait in the apartment until it gets close to midnight. Is that right?
I'd like to go out maybe about an hour earlier and
Okay.
just find a decent hiding spot.
Okay. All righty. Sounds good. I'll have you go ahead and give me, I guess, stealth. Or you could do, yeah, stealth probably is the best, I suppose. Think of something else that would be good. Deception, I guess, would work too.
Eris, if you
Stealth is deception.
if you need us, can you like light a fire or something or signal us?
Sure.
Like
So,
going
Eris,
down the road.
when you're at the pavilion, there's the large pavilion that's there. It's got a large platform. Off to the north, there's some wooded areas, and there's an old building that's sort of burnt down, and it just has the foundation that's there. To the south is a kind of a storage warehouse that's there with a long dock as well. Yep. And then you have the buildings all the way across the other street as well that you can look from. I don't know if you have any particular area that you're looking for.
Do I think I can get up on top of the roof of one of those buildings?
Yeah, you probably could. You've seen the other peoples do that from time to time.
Jack is gonna get in the water like a ways away and walk at like 6 feet depth around the thing
All
until he
right.
gets to the pavilion, and he's gonna just sit there at a depth where he can stay in the water, just stare up because he doesn't have to breathe.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm going to be just up on the street above.
Okay.
I mean, that's probably what, 60 feet away or 70 feet away. So
Sure. My question is, when do you all do this? How long beforehand?
I said I went out about an hour before we were
Hour before
supposed
for
to.
you? Okay, gotcha. How about for the rest of y'all?
Jack will do it like 3 hours before.
Okay.
He doesn't need to breathe.
and I'll just walk out with Lee and stop there.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll be with Cassie.
Alrighty. Can you have Jack roll a d20 for me, please, since he's going to be out in the lake for 3 hours?
Oh boy.
Bye, Kraken.
I know
I
you
went-
roll a 1 and it's all over.
I went like a number of weeks without killing him.
Well, I'm just going to let you know. Yep, go ahead. While you're rolling that, I'm going to read what Brian texted me, by the way. You have a chance? Oh, you rolled it. Oh, you did fine. He said to me, let me find it here. He said, by the way, do not let him kill my character tonight. It looks like you didn't kill him. So, all right. So you all are in position for Eris. If I can have a stealth roll, that'd be great, Eris.
I'm sorry, I thought I did.
No, maybe you did and I missed it. I don't see it though. All right. And Jack is underwater, so Jack can give me a stealth with advantage. All right. So, Lee, you kind of come around the corner. It's getting pretty close. Nighttime there, and you see that you've walked down here before. It's pretty desolate. Not very many people walk down here. It's not well lit, so it's in the dark. And
Just 1 second. Okay, just as we're getting ready to step out of the building, I'm going to
Okay.
drink a potion.
oh, okay, sounds good.
I'm drinking a potion of invisibility.
Alrighty.
So I've got dark vision out to 120.
Gotcha.
So I'll just keep track of anybody that I see walking up.
Yep. So I'll have you do a perception roll for me. Actually, yep, you can roll another one. Should have been it with advantage with your stealth roll you had.
Every time I roll that, I think about how I am so not like Haleth.
There you go. So, so you kind of look around. You see that there's, as the hour goes by, there's very few people that now walk around. But as you're there, you see kind of over by the trees, there's a dock on that kind of over on Ash Avenue, right at the northern section. Let me see. Yep, that's the one. You see somebody sort of walks out there and sort of drops a fishing line into the water while you're there, and seems to be fishing in this general direction towards the pavilion. So he or she is pointed in the southeast position. But otherwise, you don't see anybody else that seems suspicious or out of place or anything like that. So, Lee, with your invisibility, you get over towards the pavilion there, and I assume that's where you're at.
I'm going to try and move quietly up there to see if I can see anyone.
All right, I gotcha. So as you come up, you again see the same thing that Eris saw over on the far side, but you don't see anybody around here at all. And then as you're standing there, you see off in the distance, quite a ways away to the south, you see somebody jumps from one roof of the building to the other roof of the building.
Can't tell who or what.
just the body. You see something jump across the roof. It's over by
Do I
Low
see
Lawn Street.
anyone in the pavilion here?
No, there's nobody in the pavilion. There's nobody around here at all. It's completely empty. Remember, there's placard boards there that have like kind of notes for general things throughout the city and announcement boards, stuff like that. That's down here, and you see there's a bunch of trash that's here from the festival. Looks like they maybe had a musical event here during the day or something, but otherwise you don't see anybody else, and it's raining.
It's a little unusual for the town to have people fishing at midnight, right?
The time that you've been here, that seems a bit unusual.
I'm going to walk over and start to walk down the dock as
Okay.
quietly as I can.
Gotcha. And it's the far dock, even much farther than you. It's actually over there.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yep, that's okay. I mean, you can still do that if you'd like, but it's the far dock looking in your direction.
I'm going to walk over here towards these buildings. And can I see who was jumping?
You don't see them anymore.
Do I see him moving?
Lee?
It's Jack.
Oh, Jack, he's invisible. Lee drank a potion of invisibility.
Oh. Oh, well, me watching and not listening is not going to do well. All right.
So Jack doesn't see anything. Matter of fact, Jack's probably wondering when the hell this is all going to happen.
It is midnight now, right?
Yep, it is.
Okay, I don't see anyone around. I will drop the invisibility when I'm in the middle of the pavilion.
All right, sounds good. So you go ahead and do that. As that happens, you see to the north, on the orphanage, somebody jumps from that building to another building just to the north there, and you see them run and jump from onto the next building, and they continue to make their way around the circle towards the north. And you see a couple, a man and a woman, sort of walking kind of fast from the south around the rim here. And as they see you standing there, the woman stops. She goes, oh, "There's somebody there!" And you see the man say, "Quickly!" And they kind of go up Lantern Street, and then they see Gassy and Jesper, and you see they're kind of like talking. He's like, "I think that guy was going to rob us." And they almost immediately, I don't know if you guys are standing in the street, but almost immediately bump into you guys.
Somebody was going to rob you?
Oh, yeah, there's some guy standing down at the pavilion. He looks shady. He's got blonde hair. Eye patch.
Not sure. Not everybody with an eye patch is bad.
Like, we got to go now. And they continue to walk.
See you later. Have a good night.
Bye. As you're kind of standing there, did Jack roll a perception check? I know Eris did. Eris, you did. Yeah, I got Eris's. Got Lee's. Jack, did you? Can you roll one for Jack, please?
I don't think I did a perception check.
I thought you did. Oh, can you? That was your stealth. Can you do a perception for me?
Oh, whoops.
Alrighty, thank you. Well, so I'm just gonna let you know what the rolls are because y'all can't see them. So Eris rolled a 20 on her stealth. Eris, you had a 12 on perception, which you already knew. Lee rolled a 21 on stealth. Then Jack Brass rolled a 20 on perception. Lee rolled a 22 on perception. So Lee, as you're standing there, you immediately sense something, and you turn to your right. And you see there's a gentleman that's about 5 feet away from you walking towards you.
Oh, he's coming up on my blind side.
He was, yep. And you see he's fairly plain appearing. He's probably in his early 20s, male. He's got brown hair, sort of receding hairline a little bit. He's got kind of this blue tunic on with a string that kind of connects the top of the shirt to bring it together. He's got some chest hair there, and Yeah, he looks over to you and looks around.
Have I ever seen him before that I know of?
That's a good question. If you want to do intelligence, just a straight intelligence check, we'll see if you remember him from.
My strong suit.
He looks at you and he says, "Hey, have you seen a pig poker looking to be a peach?" No, you've never seen him before.
Not in a long time.
Like, you got the coin?
How do I know that your information is real?
Listen, I promise you that. Got the coin, I got the map. He has a scroll in his hand. You want them, I know where they're at. Trust me, my information's good.
I've got the coin, but I want to know that you actually have something on that scroll.
He slowly unrolls it, and as he does, you see there's a crude map of Cauldron on it, but he only unrolls it about halfway, and he goes, and then he rolls it back up. You could see the southern half of Cauldron, not the northern half. And he says, coin, and the location's on this map. I guarantee you.
And how did you come by this information?
I know everything.
Russell is trying desperately to remember the name that the group said. Artris?
He smiles. Says, Lee.
You do know that if this map isn't real, that there will be consequences.
You know, if there's one less gold piece than 500 in that bag, there'll be consequences.
Oh, hell, I didn't count it, so now I gotta sit down and count it. So I'm gonna sit down, open up the bag that they gave me, and start counting out coins.
He goes, what are you doing? Are you new at this?
I'm making sure that they're all here.
Puts his hand on your shoulder. He says, listen, if it's more than 50 short, I will find you and you will owe me 50.
Okay, sure.
Puts his hand out for the bag and he has the map in his hand.
So, can I see this happening?
Oh, yeah.
All right, I'll motion to Gassy and to Jester.
All right.
I will place my hand on the scroll as I'm handing out the bag.
All right, I gotcha. So he
because I don't know that what he. Well, I can't hear what they're saying. I just see what's going on.
Exactly. Damn. Up with all the 20s. Holy smokes. All right. So yeah, you clearly see her, Jester. All right. So you motion to them, and he puts his hand in. He takes the bag from you, Lee, and he let goes of the scroll if you're willing to do that. Unless you want to keep both. All right. So he takes the coin, and he hands you the scroll, and he opens up the bag and takes a quick look in it.
And I unroll the scroll quickly and look at it.
Yep, and you see at the scroll in the northeast corner, just outside the wall, there's a mark and there's some writing underneath it. Like, he said, works for the Ebon Triad. Trio's who you're looking for. I don't know the other cultists. There's 2 other ones. They want to ransom back those wands to Cauldron, because once the town gets desperate, make a bunch of money. They got a base operations on that map there. Reach it through the hidden lava tube. I'd scout it out, though, because I'm not exactly sure the location. It's somewhere generally around there. They got it kind of hidden, but she comes and goes about every night.
And the wands are there.
Wands are there. I guarantee it.
Okay.
Now, I got friends in lots of places. Anything happens to me, they know where to find you, Lee.
I'm not that hard to find, am I?
Harder than some. Does anything else?
Civilized.
Good working with you.
I'm going to turn and start to walk back towards the street.
All right. And he turns and starts walking towards the trees.
I'm going to come around this corner.
Alrighty, gotcha. So let's see how good your timing is. Nar. Let's see. What do we got? Nar, I'm going to have you do a Constitution saving throw.
I'm following him.
Yep. Perfect. Gassy, you can do the same. So, Eris, you saw the whole transaction occur. Geez. All right. So, Nar and Gassy, you guys are able to get to that corner um, just before Lee kind of gets to where you're at, and you can see him walking away, and he's only about 5 feet away from Lee, and you see that Lee has the scroll case. Eris, you can see everything that happened as well, so you start to see him moving away with your gold.
How far away is Lee and them from us?
Well, they would probably be about 30 or 40 feet. Not too far. I gotta.
Ooh.
Hey.
I didn't hear a caw, so if Nar starts to do something aggressive, I'm going to grab his shoulder and pull him back.
All right. You do hear whistling, almost like somebody whistling a tune as they're, and recognize it's him as he's moving away.
Do I know this tune?
Maybe. Not know the tune. Kind of continues to walk through the woods. Eris, you see the guy on the dock starts walking, pulls up his fishing line, starts walking towards him.
So starts walking towards him. Okay.
Towards Artis, yeah.
Not. I thought for a minute I thought you meant Lee.
Oh no, nope. And then you see that there are two people on the building of the orphanage that then jump to the next roof to the north, and they start making their way across the roofs, following Artis as he's moving.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on them to see if they like attack him
Sure.
or if they're just with him.
Yep. So you see he kind of continues to walk out, and he goes up below Pole Street, and you see the two people on the roof sort of jump down and walk over to him. And they talk briefly, and then you see them scale back up on a couple roofs, and they start moving along as he starts to disappear off the Pole Street.
Okay.
Walking very nonchalant.
I'm gonna go out here to the end of the pavilion.
Okay.
Caw, caw. Looking at Jack. I just keep doing it.
Jack just stares at you, right? Because he can't hear you.
Yeah, he can.
So you got the info, Lee?
Yep, got a map right here, and I'll show it to him
Caw.
and tell him what he said.
So if you zoom out of the map, marker off the map.
I'm finally gonna wave my hands and just tell Jack, just come on.
Is it the green pin without a label?
Nope.
The pins are moving.
Oh, I forgot to share it. Here we go.
That one right there. Cool.
Which one is it?
It's the one in the far top right corner, right on the road almost. You got to zoom way, way out. Yep.
The lava tube entrance, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you guys have your map.
And he said that's. I'll relay all the information that he gave me.
Sounds good.
And by the way, that guy's name is Artis. He knows all.
Well, he had backup all over the place.
Yeah, I was expecting one of you to do something crazy.
Us?
That's usually reserved for you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
As Russell, I have to say, I was fully expecting one of you to make an attack, and I was in trouble.
I have my Tanglefoot bag in my hand.
I was
Well,
gonna
he
do Hitty's laughter.
he had backup, so I'm assuming just from watching their actions, they're with the last laugh or the laughing hand. Isn't that the name of the rogue
I
group
think it's
that we're
Last
gonna?
Laugh.
Last
Last
laugh,
laugh?
yeah.
Yep, Last Laugh. You were right the first time.
Jack takes a small fish out of his mouth and throws it back in the lake.
He's
uh,
been sitting down there the whole time with his mouth open, hasn't he? Fish been swimming
Yep.
in and out.
you can have an investigation roll.
From who?
Lee, sorry.
You always, why can't you ask me for things I actually can do?
More fun to ask for things that you can't do. The answer to your question is you don't know.
I'm pretty sure he's the leader of the last laugh.
Hey Lee, I didn't know you were actually going to talk about it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said that. My bad.
That's okay. Everybody around here doesn't meta, so we're okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I guess we should recon it, and I wonder if when we were down underneath, if that would have connected with this, this lava tunnel.
We didn't find any. Well, I mean, you guys blocked off the only entrance from the outside that we found.
Yeah.
I say we try it in the morning,
That sounds good.
since it's now slightly after midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like 12:30 or 1 o'clock.
We
Both
should
of
all
Mickey's
stay
hands.
at Eris's tonight.
Sounds like a plan.
No.
I'll start heading that way.
Eris is.
Eris has like this studio, right? And she's
Yeah.
now going to put like 5 people in it. All right,
Eris,
so y'all.
can we turn the heat up this time?
No, that's too hot. And then somebody else is complaining because it's too cold. And I go sleep in the hallway.
It's just right.